Welcome back to GPVWC's coverage of the Le Mans 24 Hours as part of the Master Series here. My name is Simon Smith, and although I may have had a wee kip, I am vaguely back at half speed, taking you through the last few hours. Alongside me is Dave Carr-Smith, who has stuck through the entire 20 god knows how many hours of prep beforehand and the race itself. So big hats off to the DCS, and as ever, well not as ever, but currently still joined by Thomas Hiddens, who has been doing a marvellous job whilst I was drawling out in my sleep. How you doing?
Very good. Thank you very much. I'm just talking about racing, I guess. That's all I'm doing. Improv, the glorious improv. It's very good, trust me. You should try it sometime. Well, everyone should try it sometime. It's very good. But yeah, no, it's been going good. I see, obviously, with Zurich gone, looks like they're back in the race, but with them gone, my team now up to 7th. Good to see. So that's good to see. Tom's doing a good job in there. So hopefully we can keep going up. But yeah, Smile Power still in the lead. Was it 5 minutes now in the lead? Quite a large margin.
That is, and Enterprise GP have got Eric Strane in the car in second. Drake VBM 1. Got Roy Schroten, he's just taken over that car into third place, and he's a further 2 laps back. Then in fourth, we've got THR's Ivan Navarro. He's running that car and is a further 3 minutes behind Roy Schroten in the Drake. So that's going to be an interesting one to see how that closes up in the last few hours, because in theory it should close up given the strength of the drivers in that team. But Drake have really excelled themselves with the ability to not have drama so far, although I may have just cursed that.
Contagious.
Yeah, exactly. Simcraft is in 5th position with Matt Richards. They're further 3 laps back. In 6th is FA's Racing. They've currently got Yanni Vananen in the car, and he's in lap 294, which is 2 behind Matt Richards. 7th is your guys, TSA. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, good boys.
They're on lap 293. They're 2 behind Yanni Vananen, but putting in some good lap times there, Tom. 4:01.926 last time by. Ahead of the recovering Riku Sarpilla, who's driving in the Missouri Adonis car. He's a further 2 minutes 58 behind. Walters Automotive have got Roy Verzigel in. He's further 9 laps behind. So you've got a good buffer if you want to get 7th or 8th.
Yeah, that's good. Good to see if something goes wrong. We've got that nice buffer there.
Oh yeah, do like a buffer. Then in 10th position we've got Woods F1. No, not we've got Woods Woods Racing with Calvin Hersey behind the wheel. He's a further 3 laps behind them. 11th Cosmos Quintin Plain. He's on lap 279. In the pits currently, or just exiting the pits, is Dan Rusu in the Drake VBM2. They've had all kinds of issues, but they are a good 11 laps behind the Cosmo. And then a further 13 laps behind is the soldiering on, but much applause given to Deltec. They've got Marius Van Wink still out in that car at the moment. So 13 started, 13 remain. Dan Rusu looks like he's binned it somewhere, and he's straight out from the pits, so that's not good for Drake VBM2. He's going very slowly. I wonder if that's just him getting back up to speed from his crasharoo.
You'd hope so, but yeah, he definitely is taking his sweet time. Maybe an issue with the wheel, perhaps? Hope
Maybe.
Not, but yeah, you never know.
We've had that reoccurring, it seems to have got back going now, but it may be a pedal or a wheel or a force feedback issue that's just like, it takes you a little while to get back going again.
Yeah. I'll just give credit out. I've noticed the Cosmo without the front bumper, but Quinton's kept on. He's soldiering on without the front bumper, and I haven't really noticed too many mistakes from him. So credit to him to be able to keep that thing on the straight and narrow without the front bumper.
That's his experience in ITC showing.
He knows how to handle a loose car.
Yeah, no one has all the car parts in that series, and lives to fight another day. Oh dear. So we've got a couple of people that we're going to drag into the beef in a sec. Just want to finish off with Mr. Chris Williamson, if that's okay. If you had a favourite flavour of crisp, what would it be and why? Oh, sorry, if you could invent a flavour of crisp, sorry.
Oh, that's a tough one. Maybe a full English breakfast and crisp.
Ooh.
That'd be interesting. I am a massive tea fan, just saying, so I know, very odd for an Aussie. You know, you'd think we're just into the old beers or something, but yeah, no. Tea, I'm a bit of a fan of tea. I do like the tea, so I'd go for that. I'll be honest, I'd try it.
Tea an Australian delicacy?
Yep. One thing actually I've noticed is a bit off topic here, but a couple of the guys, Tom and that my team, I've noticed that you guys have the added with the Fosters over there. They're like Australians drink Fosters, and yet when I'm over here, I don't know anyone who drinks Fosters. We seriously barely any of us drink it.
Oh,
Yeah, honestly, that's the way it is.
it's all a lie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I'm afraid it is. Yeah, I'm gonna break it. Yeah.
yeah. When I was in Australia, I can confirm that.
Yeah, we don't. I think half the people here don't even know what it is. They just say Foster's. Like, what's Foster's, mate?
It's the stuff you want to get rid of.
Yeah.
That's why it's an
we
export.
yeah, that's why we just chuck it over to you guys, so that you guys drink it. We don't have to deal with it.
Aw, boo. Never mind. I do like Foster's actually when it's they have that in the pub, the specific silver chilled tap. I'm sure it's just for effect. It's not really any cooler than anything else, but I was just like, oh, super cooled one, please. So,
Actually, to be honest, I've never actually tried it, so I can't actually give an opinion on its taste. So I shouldn't really be too biased to it.
It's sweet and nectarous.
Oh, okay. Alright. I'll have to give it a go one day, just to try it out.
Not my
You like-
favourite.
You'll be all upset, but like, why are we exporting this this stuff that tastes like pee? So, what is your favourite then, Chris?
Beer?
Hmm.
I quite like a Betts myself. Partial to re-isles as well. So I guess that's just my beard talking.
I think we're all partial to a lot of beer. That would do. It's a good answer. Boo. Okay. If you was a superhero, what would you name yourself?
That's a tough one. Can I be unimaginative?
Yeah. That's your name though. Then.
Chris Umont.
Oh.
Not classic. And obviously the collective groans.
Backbar boy. How about that?
Yes. And do you think motor racing should be an Olympic sport?
I don't think so.
Ooh,
I
controversy.
don't really see the need to have it in the Olympics.
That's true, yeah. There can be a point there, argued, especially if especially the length of some of the races. If you go longer races, it could be a bit long for Olympics.
Yeah, it might be interesting to see the kind of national element, but they kind of already did that in A1GP, and
Yeah, we saw that went.
I really
What
like
was it,
K1GP.
Yeah, I personally didn't mind it, but yeah, I see it went down the hill quite quick. And what was the other one? What was it? Super League, was it? Or Super, the one where it was the football
Super League
teams?
Formula.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. Is that still going? I thought they canned that. I thought they canned it, but...
I think it was canned, and then it was called... I know, I'm thinking of something else that then got renamed equally stupidly.
They're very creative with their names. Give them credit.
I thought it should be Formula Super League, not Super League Formula as well. That sounds really back to front.
It does, yeah.
Who would use a name like that, eh?
Who would do Super League? Jeez.
Never mind. Cool. Those were the secret sevens. Awesomeosaurus.
So you've passed the test, I guess.
What do I win?
Coverage on the air, and more
Exactly.
time in the broadcast booth with the joyous Dave, Thomas, and
Indeed. And also just an internet cookie as well, I guess. If
Awesome.
that is any sort of consolation.
Bitcoin.
Exactly. Complimentary Bitcoin.
Or Dogecoin.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dave, I'd have issues with you mentioning a rifle.
Definitely, yeah.
Where it emerges that Dave has actually invented Dogecoin.
He secretly did it and he hasn't told us. He'll just come out one day and just be like, yeah, I did that, guys. What? I must say though, I'll say one thing, we've got a lot of guys in the waiting room. We've got 5 guys, jeez, we're very popular. I think it's just you, Simon. It's because you're back now, everyone wants to get in there.
Aww.
Talk to you.
Very, very, very. Oh well. Should we drag some of them in? I think it's been
Indeed.
have we got Demetrius, I think. Needs to go for. Do that. So it is Demetrius. How did we say that surname?
Yeah.
Like a printer? You there, mate?
Mine.
So
Sorry for that.
Oh, there you go.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. I thought you was actually really a printer in disguise. That's all we could hear in the background. It was weird.
No, it was I'm being stupid.
Never mind. How's it been for you? But most importantly, how do we actually say your surname from the horse's mouth?
Okay, I'm gonna make it simple English. Chew, money, and then an S in the end.
Humanis.
Human.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, now I've got in my head Chewbacca. No. No.
Damn it! I mean, you've got it in my head too. Go. Damn it.
No,
Well, that's not going to go.
not at all. And that's now going to be stuck in my head. So annoying. But how's it been? Because you've been a busy bee and you've not been able to sim race for quite some time, and now you're back in, and it looked like it was going quite well for you from the outside.
Yeah, I mean, I tried getting in a few legs, but normal life in school kinda took away my time. Right now, I may try to continue, but with GCSEs coming up in year 10, it's gonna be really hard.
How was the pressure of being the opening guy?
Yeah, I don't know, it felt like it was normal from the challenge qualifying session and start race. I was surprised I wasn't last, because that's where I usually am.
Oh.
Last. Although, I suppose, yeah, if you can find some familiarity in there, and then it makes it a little less scary when it's a new discipline and things like that. So, have you had much experience in endurance racing before?
I've done only but 1 16-hour race in Live for Speed, if that counts.
I don't count that. I reckon. You always claim it. As long as it's racing online, you just claim it. Just go, yeah, it was against real people, was it? Yes.
Yeah.
It was online. Yep.
True.
Alright, claim it. I would. Yeah, a bit of a cheap. Yeah, I probably would. I'll be honest. I'm not gonna lie.
So, and at least you can say actually that regardless of whatever happens, you got a top 13 finish.
True.
Precisely.
That's
yeah,
top 20. On NASCAR 10,003, that's good. Because, your spot, it tells you're really good.
Yeah, you can, yep, say, yep, I got top 15 in the 24 hour. There you go. And no one can question that. It's always a nice feeling.
Well, they can question saying, well, you still were last. So,
Well, the main thing, I think, to be honest, is credit, for finish if you can get through the end of the race. I won't jinx, don't give the commentators curse, but, if you can get through the end, that's half the battle right there. I think it's congratulations to everyone who can get through the end. That's just, in 24 hours, that is a real achievement, I think.
True, because in the forums and everywhere, but it was like half of the teams not to be able to go through the night. But with the rejoin plugin and things like that, everything did really good. Everyone did.
Yeah, very true. Actually, yeah, I'll just mention that. I think it's good to see that all 13 are still running. So I didn't think that. I thought half of them would have gone by now, but here we are. Everyone's still in it. So very good job to everybody.
Clinging on desperately. So, just actually, we've not seen you about massively for a little while. Now you're back here doing the endurance race. What is next in the sim racing world for Dimitri?
Space, because I don't have anything at the moment. I could do the Open Series like Andreas will do probably, as he said. But I like the World Pro Series cars because we just tested them, and I would try to get it there.
Great. Oh well, best of luck, and we hope that you can get yourself onto one of those grids. Both. Yoink. Fabulous. Are you getting back in the car again, or?
Nah, that was my last stint of 5 to 7. So, up to Marius and Mark now.
Dum. And how does that feel when you leave your car in other people's hands because you've now done it all?
I don't know. It's a bit stressful because, like, nobody in our team is like the perfect driver that does no mistakes, and nobody is. And like, you're always scared that something will go wrong.
Crossed,
Yeah, very
fingers
true.
crossed. Okay. Do you think motor racing should be an Olympic sport?
No, just the same way sim racing should not be an e-sport.
Oh, that's a good point.
Hey.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Because, like, for it doesn't test your physical ability as much as a real sport. Like running, it takes a lot more practice, and like, if you get hurt, you may stop forever. If you get hurt in an accident in a car, you can probably still keep driving. That's like Alex Zanardi, who like, in Indicego literally got his leg chopped off.
Nice image.
Sorry, go Tom.
I was just saying about that image, so. But actually, also, you might ask one thing, because I seem to be asking every driver. This is my one solid question I have. Setups, Demetrius. With the setups for your team, did you get a good balance? Do you think with the setups? Are all pretty happy with how this turned out with your setup?
Yeah, like we managed to like a basic setup, and then we tried to change it. But like a few people were not happy with like lower wing settings because they would find very stable. Like I would find it really stable because practice quite a bit. But like Marius and Ken would prefer a higher big wing, like 3. Even if you're slow, you can be more consistent and like be more stable.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I do agree. I think even if it does cut off a few seconds off the lap, it's much better to go for the consistency in these 24-hour races. That's for sure.
Okay. Sorry about that. I was just reaching out to
all
the
good.
bits inside. And if you was a superhero, what name would you call yourself?
I don't know actually. Space, because no space saved us. I don't know. Space.
That'd be different. That'd be good. I'd go for it. Sure, why not? Might as well. Just make sure you get a really spacey outfit. Go with it. That'd be good. Actually, you could be really creative with that. Actually, really futuristic. I reckon. Look nice if you made that work.
Yeah, just wear a Robocop thing. Suit. You're ready.
As long as you don't get out lots of guns. Start acting a bit angry birds, that's all good. And then lastly, actually, you've mentioned, obviously we're in our factory, you've mentioned NASCAR Racing 2003. What is your favourite racing game of all time?
Oh, I've played quite a few. Like, between 2 games, it would be on the Xbox, Taco Race Driver, and on every console and PC. Need for Speed Underground 2.
Yeah, that was a classic. Yeah, that's a long time ago. That was.
Why does those two specifically stick out for you?
It's the ones I probably played the most, and I really enjoyed. Not only with myself, but like my friend and my cousin and my brother.
Remember local multiplayer when it used to be the big selling point for games?
Wasn't it great?
Yeah.
You have all your friends over
Like-
and just have those really awesome game time
True.
on the couch, or Good times.
And like, I tell my friends that thing because like I'm only like 14. They think I'm talking about really weird stuff that they think never existed. Because I did use the game from like when I was like 4 years old somehow.
Damn.
Naturally born with a
Impressive.
controller in your hand.
Yeah. Attached to your own birth.
The PlayStation 1. Played a lot of FIFA that day.
Hey, good man, good man. But maybe you didn't have an umbilical cord, you just had a USB cable. It was just plugged in, he's like,
Yeah.
Right.
Had to do the safety remove to get him out.
Yeah.
after 9 months of charge.
Yeah. They had to press eject, so like, I don't know. I press eject to get me off.
Yeah, they were tempted to do what everyone does and ignore it. You know, you ignore the safety remove, but the doctors advise that they should
Yeah.
use it.
Yeah, they say, yeah, you should probably eject him, but you know, to plug it off, hard reboot, damn thing.
Oh, well, best of luck. Enjoy the rest of the broadcast. Hope to see you back in WSS and having a good giggle on there as well. And that, my people, was Demetrius Tumanis. I got
Good
it
job
right!
there. Yes.
That's actually seriously just made my last hour.
Okay.
You don't understand.
Okay.
Cool. Take it easy.
Okay. Goodbye.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah.
next in the lineup? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got
Another
quite a
one.
few. It will be Mr. Adrian Holm, I believe. Will be next in the
Wait,
list.
what?
There he is. He was whipped across quicker than I could whip a ferret. Mr. Adrian Holm, how you doing?
Ah, hello Simon. How are you doing? I'm doing fine.
Whoop, whoop. We're chugging along. We're chugging along. Now, I've not seen you out on track, but then I did fall asleep for a couple of hours. Was that when you was out and about?
No.
You're not
I
racing
haven't
at all?
driven. No.
Oh,
I'm just a spectator for this one.
Naughty.
crumbs.
Yeah, I need my beauty sleep.
Yeah, understandable.
Especially as you've got a championship to be getting on with and winning in ITC tomorrow. Oh, Dave, why do we do this?
No more cameras, please.
Oh, yes, because you are in primed and tickled position for the ITC championship, which must be quite nice.
Yeah, on a bit of a roll at the moment. Everything just seems to fall into my hands really, but it's still only halfway I believe, so still a lot of racing to be done. Planar races, so you just gotta keep digging and just score, just be so consistent as possible. And I've been consistent this year, got a actually point in every race so far, which is better than I had last year, so I've been quite good at now.
And it must be quite interesting in a way that you've got seem to have the knack of on the reverse grids not getting into absolutely all the trouble going as well, so that requires its own little mini skill set as opposed to being up front and leading and having all of the fastest laps and battling for the win. So it's a good little multi-skill set that you've managed to gain for yourself.
It's just about balancing how aggressive you are and when to make the move and where to make the move and so on. It was definitely improved on it from last season, and especially at the end of last year I really kind of figure out how to do it, and yeah, race 3 has been a strong point this season, but race 2 is where I got most wins so far, because race 1 is a bit tricky with a massive penalty weight or success ballast, and in race 2 you can kind of just have a go and just drive as hard as possible to drive. Scoop up as many points as possible.
Just to quickly, go back onto the race here. Calvin Hermes is in the pits for Woods Racing. Looks like he's the only one in at the moment, so I don't know if he's doing a drive change yet. Doesn't go to the pit box, but have a look probably in the next few seconds.
Good stuff, Calvin, keeping it on the road, which is a lot more of an improvement compared to the Super League that he's been up to of late. Okay. The success ballast and how that works with ITC. What's your views on that?
It's a very good. It's a very interesting I don't. Maybe it's not good all the time, but it's very interesting for sure. And I think it really spices up the what is it, like, the experience when you drive. So you have to have realistic goals every race. So your goals change from race to race.
Does the setup change from race to race as well?
More setup in the Cruise than in the BMW I had last season. Just gets a bit more oversteer in the Cruise since it has a bit more weight to the front, and when you put the ballast in the center of the car, a higher percentage of the car's weight is on the rear axle, so it's a bit more oversteer, but that's not a bad thing in a rear-wheel drive, or a front-wheel drive rather.
I'm just going to quickly go back to the Woods thing again to harp on it a little bit, but it is indeed, they did do a drive change. Mark Fuller now at the helm of the Woods racing car. Hope they can keep that thing on the track like they've been doing this race. Pretty good driving so far, just keep it consistent.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. So what else are you getting your mitts into at the moment, Adrian, in terms of sim racing?
Doing a Group A championship starting this week or next week. And then it's ITC. That's the two main ones I'm doing. Oh, and I do a Clio League as well. That's the Clio League is ending in a week's time, I think. So that one is getting. I trade that one in for the Group A championship.
And one other question here for Rockingham. If you got so for Rockingham, of course, everyone, I know that I've certainly not had a ton of practice for Rockingham because I've just obviously with 24 hour, we've all been very busy with that. But do you think have you got a good setup set for Rockingham, Adrian, or have you also been busy? Or
I haven't actually done any laps. I've done like 4 or 5 just to get my head around the track, and yeah. But I think the setup me and Toby has is gonna suit that one as well. Fairly alright, because yeah, it's just a mix of corners really, and I think we'll go alright there. Really hope so, at least.
yeah, it's a bit different to Salzburger, of course. A lot more wider. You've got slower corners, not as flowing and fast as Salzburger in ways. So yeah, I think everyone obviously will be a bit for ITC a bit weary potentially, especially 24-hour drivers after a 24-hour race and having to go straight to ITC. It'll be a bit of a push, but it'll still be fun, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hope they're so sick of racing now they don't do any practice.
Yeah, especially for me, like me and Neil Beamer not really on the pace as much as you are, Adrian. So yeah, if they can not practice, that's just even better for me. Might give me a chance.
Oh, cool. We've mentioned about setups and so on and so forth. I'd be very interested to get your view, Adrian, on fixed setups. And do you think a fixed setup league or anything like that, what would be the pros and cons, and do you think that would ever, can a fixed setup league ever be fair?
It's for sure a bigger test of driver skill, so to say, but still, I think it's pretty known that we have good setups in THR, but it still doesn't take away that we drive the cars very hard on the edge all of the time. But seriously, I've done a few fixed leagues, or not fixed leagues, but fixed setup league. So
Don't say the leagues are fixed.
no, exactly. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Has its pros and its cons. I think I prefer open setup over it, but yeah, it's interesting.
Sorry, go, Adrian.
No, I'm done.
Oh, sorry to intervene again, but just noticing the racer, just popping back to the broadcast every now and then, and I noticed that Dan Ruzu has spun there at the first chicane there in the drag, and then I looked over at Roy Schroden, and down in Indianapolis he's gone into the wall, so he's actually lost his front splitter down there in the number 1 drag, so hopefully for his sake it hasn't caused too many problems. That could really put a spanner in the works there for that battle for 3rd place, but we'll keep an eye on it, but hopefully he can keep going for Roy's sake.
Yeah,
The actual gap between Schroten and Navarro is now under a minute, so clearly something is shrinking.
Yeah, it's just a bit of opportunity there for drag. They're just almost identical there. One spins, and then 5 seconds later one's into the wall, so almost synchronized crashing there from drag. So
they're that in tune with each other.
one crashes, the other goes too.
Oh,
One's as fast as that, the other follows.
All for one and one for all. Flat. Oh dear. So, what else was I going to say? So do you think fixed setups can ever be fair? Because a fixed setup will always suit one driving style over another, surely.
Yeah, I forgot the question actually, and yeah, I think it's fair. I think it's as fair as open setups, to be honest, because you move away a bit from maybe the knowledge of how to set up the car and more into just pure racing. So, yeah, I think both they're equally fair in terms of competition, so to speak.
Cool. Now, I feel it is only fair that we ask you some of the questions from the Secret Simon Sausage 7
I never
question.
thought you'd ask.
What is your favourite track of all time?
I have so many favorite tracks, to be honest. Love Nordschleife, love Laguna Seca,
The first time you've heard that?
Salzburgring as well. Laguna Seca, really?
Oh no, we've had one other Laguna Seca. That's the first time we've heard Salzburgring, though.
Oh, alright. I just love fast tracks, to be honest, as well. You have to be so committed into corners and yeah, love those kinds of tracks. But one favorite track, Nordschleife, then.
The old classic. Okay. Favourite racing series to watch or take part in?
Ooh, at the moment BTCC, but it goes a bit back and forth between the BTCC and V8 supercars at the moment. It's just how the weekends play out, if good races or bad races, or if my favorite drivers win and so on. It's very, very close, but BTCC then.
Not up for V8s there.
Yeah, I was going to say it's good to see the V8's getting a bit of an international reach. It's good to see.
Yeah, it's actually broadcasted in Sweden now as well. The Volvos and Dahlgren Racing.
Wow, yeah. No, I'm a big fan of Craig Lowndes, for anyone who knows V8s. Big fan of him. I love him.
Of course.
Well, I mean, you know, just a guy like that who never, like, the only time I've ever seen him annoyed was once, and that was it. And that was like a championship defining moment. But otherwise, I've never seen him annoyed. He's always smiling. Always. It's just, I just like him. I think he's pretty cool.
It's a good approach.
Was he? I think he was 40, wasn't he, this weekend? So
Yep.
Still going strong. Credit to him.
Sure is.
What is your favourite racing game of all time?
Of all time, I have to say R Factor. Just the amount of
Good
years I've been driving it and not got sick of it is just ridiculous. But it's from I have a few favorites, but that one is definitely the top of the ladder. I have Toka 2, Colin McRae Rally 2, and just they were so good in their era, but R Factor has stayed on top for so long now. It's hard to not acknowledge it.
Yeah, just again, getting back to the race again. Sorry to keep doing this
No.
the race, but I just
it's
keep
alright.
popping back and I keep noticing things.
While we're here.
I just noticed again. I don't want to keep dwelling on Drake here, but I just happened to notice Dan Rusu go around again into the wall. I was just watching my fellow TSA driver Cam Brewster, and I looked behind and I noticed he went into the wall and he's gone straight into pit lane. So I don't know if that's a scheduled stop, but I sense it may have been a puncture. It looked like it, so could be bad news there for the second Drake car.
Maybe it's a Dan ruse to keep everyone else off of a broadcast. Who knows? Oh well, he was struggling a wee bit earlier actually during the night. He was having a few spins around and a bit of an issue. So but not many people seem to be coming to his aid to help that car out. So I feel a bit sorry for Dan because he's kind of carried that for quite a while. That too.
Okay,
Between him and Nikolai. Right. If you could invent a flavour of crisp, what would it be?
Oh, I had to think about this one for some time. I don't know actually. What would
You
it
didn't think hard enough.
No.
It's got to be something.
I'm quite content with the flavors available now, but yeah, to invent one, maybe chili. I don't know if it's around. I love spicy food, so yeah.
Cool, cool.
A
I
spicy
too
crisp would be appreciated.
awesome. I tell you what I did have over from America, which my other half brought back from holiday, and it was voodoo flavoured crisps. And we just we wouldn't quite know what voodoo would taste like, but essentially it's just vinegar flavoured crisps with a
Why
hint
don't
of
they
chili
call
in the
it vinegar
background.
crisps then?
I was expecting something really outlandish there, but
No, but it was like an open and see, but it was like chili vinegar. It was nice actually, surprisingly nice. But it was like it's got a kick to it, where you've got like too much vinegar. So yeah,
must be the way the voodoos are.
that is where the voodoo is.
In the kick.
Oh yeah. Favorite film?
Racing film or just in general?
Just in general. But if it's a racing film, then that'd be cool. If not, don't worry.
Really like the Godfather trilogy, but don't know if it's my favorite film. I don't know actually. I have too many favorite movies. I have a lot of favorites.
Aww. Boo. Not sorry. Okay. If you was a superhero, what would you call yourself?
Captain Obvious.
Oh, not another one. That's two
Always the
obviouses we've got now.
Oh, Toby always says that I'm Captain Obvious, so just gotta. What's the
Go
one?
with it. It's meant to be.
Obviously.
And do you think that motor racing could be an Olympic sport? Should be.
Should or could be? Should.
Should.
No, I don't think it should be, because it's the whole thing with the professional drivers or amateur drivers, and yeah, they have to drive the same car as well, don't they? Because to be equal, to be fair.
No, that all makes good sense. That all makes very good sense indeed.
Oh, just noticed. Oh boy, look at this. If you looked at Walters Automotive, their car is absolutely gone. No rear wing. I reckon it's missing the front right wheel right there. They've had a huge accident. I reckon it might be down near Indianapolis. There's a lot of bodywork around, but that is absolutely destroyed. That car is limping. Yeah, he's got no front. If he's got no front left, that car is just destroyed. I don't know what he's done, but that is a big crash.
We've not seen many of them, to be fair, have we? Of the huge crashes.
No.
I remember seeing. It may have been actually his team boss, Andreas Walters, was the other car that's done it as well. And I've seen a Deltec with a front right missing as well. So that's about the third or fourth one over the whole course of the race, which is good going. But yeah, he's wrecked that one, good and proper.
Looks like a regular 911 now.
He's managed to limp. Well, he had managed to limp it back, but good on him to get it back to pit lane though. Good credit there. That is just the Walking Dead right there. But he's got it back, so hopefully they can get that fixed and keep pushing through. So credit to him.
Good stuff as well to put the lights on to let everyone know he's going slowly. So
Yes, very true.
that's a bit of common decency. So I done Roy back into the pits, and let's hope he didn't vajizzle all over himself too much when that crashed. Always overshot overshot his box. That is a bit too much for jizzling. There's Rusu and Sarpilla both pop into the pits. So Rusu again in. We think that's more damage.
I hope not, but no. Is he just... Looks like he's almost just gone straight through. I don't think he actually went to pit lane there. It's interesting.
I wonder if they're trying
damage.
I wonder if they're trying a driver change, because they might be trying to do what you have to do to get you across properly.
Yeah, they may have tried. Of course, ours was worked once and didn't work the other time. And actually, Harley Hamnet messaged me before asking, sorry to mention Harley, but he asked me before how I did it. How did we get me across that one time? But all I can say, it was pure luck. That's what it was. No idea, just luck.
The Walters Automotive car escaped out in the pit road and has now started trundling down pit lane again, and I wonder if when he gets out onto track he'll be removed from the game, because I think if you escape out you have to serve a penalty.
Yes, yeah, you do, yeah. The waiting time of 4 to 5 minutes, or depending on what it is, but very true, you may need to. I guess we'll keep an eye on that, but we'll soon see.
All the scandal and drama of the GPVWC Le Mans 24 hour. Anywho, thank you very much, Adrian, for coming into the broadcast booth. Pleasure to have a potential champion in with us.
Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Go and enjoy. You can See more crashed, pixelated action out there.
See Origin. Alright, so 4 now again. 4, yeah, 4. Right. Oh, look. Oh, it's my fellow TSA driver. There you go. I see a fellow Aussie, Reese. I didn't actually know he was an Aussie, I'll be honest.
I think Reese is next, isn't he?
Yeah. Fellow Aussie. Hello there, Reese.
Oh, hello. Hi,
yeah,
how are we?
Oh, dude. Oh, wow. It's so good to hear an Aussie accent. How you doing, mate? Doing well?
Yeah, not bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Funny stuff.
I'm putting this through Google Translate. I don't know what you're doing, Dave.
We got an intrinsic understanding of each other, haven't we?
We do, yeah. We hear the accent and we just know, we just know what we're saying. We can say that and it's just like, bam, Say it's like overseas. It's one thing I've actually heard people say overseas. When you're in Australia and when you hear other Aussies, you can hear them a mile off. You see that accent and just go, oh, hello, fellow Australian. What are you doing here?
There it is.
Do you have camaraderie where you look out for each other when you find each other in other countries?
I think you kind of do, actually. Yeah.
I've never been to another country outside of New Zealand, so I wouldn't know.
And would they know that you're an Australian?
Yes, they would.
I think they would. Yeah, we do. We really do know. You can try and hide it, but I think we'd know.
I think I blend in well enough because my mum is from New Zealand, and I have a whole New Zealand side of the family, so I'm half Kiwi anyway, so yeah.
It just means that you're always half disowned.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, if you put it like that, Simon.
All the issues of the cultures of that side of the planet. Is it true though that there is a proper, because the scandalous rumours over here in the European side of the world says that New Zealand and Australia hate each other.
It's more of an England versus Wales type thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not too fierce. Yeah.
Not too fierce. It mainly consists of fun-filled banter and occasional references to the love of sheep.
yes.
And I suppose there's plenty of sheep in New Zealand. I've just seen Virgil and Marius van Wink. I know who he is. Verzilj, whatever it is. And Van Wink have both just crashed at the same place together, and one after the other.
I've just noticed as well, you look at THR, he's missing his front as well. So there's 4 guys now, 5, because Cosmo doesn't have his front as well, and Roy Schroden. So there's 5 cars now running around without a front bumper.
Clearly this is today's fashion.
Remove the bumper, so I won't be surprised. I might have to get the other teams in there to remove it to get with the times.
Gets you some extra K down the straight though, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, probably.
Doesn't help with the steering, but deal with that.
So how's it been whilst you've been out there, Reese?
Oh, well, I only did one stint, and that was in the early morning, coming into dawn. I was meant to do 2 stints, but when I handed the car over to Mike Bell, he suddenly got this second wind, he suddenly became a new man and started doing these amazing times, and we decided to keep him in the car for my stint, so I decided to... probably, I don't know, you never know with Mike. But my stint wasn't anything particularly special, but this is my first time out at a 24-hour endurance race, and I suppose I did as good a job as I could have given the circumstances. I mean, I'm not particularly comfortable in these cars, but I do very much enjoy the Le Mans circuit. It's one of my favourite racetracks of all time. Can't top Bathurst though.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Got to please the Aussie crowd here. But yeah, I suppose I did rather well given the circumstances, and of course the Smile car is leading the race, so I'd say it's been a pretty good race for us.
Yeah, just wondering, so what's your experience with sim racing before? Have you new to this, or have you been going for quite a long time?
I've been sim racing since February 2008. This is my first time at GPVWC, mostly because Mike Bell brought me in at the last minute to fill in for one of their drivers who unfortunately could not do the race. But Yeah, I'm no stranger to sim racing, and I'm no stranger to endurance races or the endurance series mod. It's just these particular cars. Yeah, the flat sixes. I don't want to uh, bring the anger of any licensing people by calling it by what it actually is. But yeah, these particular cars don't suit my driving style particularly well. I can't deal very well with oversteer because I only have one hand on the wheel.
Oh,
Yeah, that's yeah. I suppose I should go into a bit more detail about that.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
do,
People around the sim racing internet know me as my real name or by my pseudonym Southpaw Racer, which basically means left-handed, because I can't use my right arm. It's a birth injury, pretty much. Brachial plexus, a doctor that didn't know what he was doing and tore the nerve endings out of my spinal cord for my right arm. So yeah, basically I've had to live my life only using my left arm for almost everything, and sim racing is one of those things.
Crikey. So how do you adapt your driving for that? Because obviously you've got as Rusu's off again, you have like a paddle shift that's adapted so that you can go up and down the gears, or?
It's more just experimenting with the control mappings. Basically, the only real thing I need to work out is the shifting. So I've got my G25 racing wheel sitting in front of me right now. I use the red button on the left front panel of the steering wheel to shift up, and I use the left paddle to shift down. And sometimes when I'm racing offline, I bring out the H shifter for fun, and when I'm shifting, just prop up the wheel with my right elbow.
Oh.
Crikey.
Yeah. So that's my story so far.
Yeah, kudos for effort. I'll give you that. Gee.
Yeah,
Very
definitely.
nice.
And thank you very much for sharing that, actually, because that's obviously a personal thing. So thank you very much. But it's just, is it okay to ask some questions about having to what you'd like to see out there on the market for people? Because we've got Ben Warren, who's wheelchair bound, and he obviously will want certain adapted equipment so that he can go sim racing or even go driving and things like that.
Yeah, of course I heard about Ben Warren.
Yeah, I mean, do you find that actually there's enough adapted equipment out there for people so that you can get in and feel comfortable with whatever disability or impediment that you have at the moment?
Are you talking real driving or sim racing driving?
Either
Both?
or, yeah.
Either or? Okay. I suppose, in real life especially, there is a big sort of supply of extra peripherals to make your driving experience a little easier. I mean, in my day-to-day car, I've got a lollipop handle sort of spinner attached to my steering wheel that has a little control panel with which I can activate the blinkers and the high beam headlights, and that works very, very well for me. It's expensive equipment, but if you want your independence, if you want to get around, you need to have it done. Really, for sim racing, I don't know. I mean, in my case, I don't really need specifically anything to sort of make it a bit easier, because I've adapted to this well enough that I can't really imagine myself doing it any other way. But I suppose that there would be a market out there for disabled sim racer peripherals, especially because a lot of us disabled people can't go real life racing because of these physical limitations. I mean, for me certainly, I've considered doing real racing at some point, and I came to the conclusion that it probably wasn't worth the hassle with the people who write the safety regulations regulations because, of course, you've got to get out of the car in a certain amount of time in the event of a crash and all that sort of stuff. And getting out of a go-kart is a struggle for me because of my one-handedness. I mean, my left arm's become quite strong as a result of me exclusively using it, pretty much. But it's still not enough to wrench me out of a crashed race car, unfortunately. So sim racing is the next best thing for a lot of us. So I suppose either I know that a lot of disabled sim racers that I know about use DIY sort of stuff to make their driving experience easier. I don't really know if there'd be necessarily the should I say, like the cash flow, so to speak, for a business to start creating disabled sim racing peripherals, but certainly I think it would be very welcome, especially because for stuff like this as well, I think sim racing and disabled people go hand in hand if they want to go racing.
Yeah. I was just thinking from like a right and left handed perspective even as well for musical instruments. It's so difficult to find left-handed bass guitars and things like that, and you just think,
yes.
Come on, there's the niche is there, and it would be rude not to have something available. That was all. Sorry, I talked over you there, Tom.
Oh, that's fine. I was just going to mention that Deltec has been in for a pit stop. Vanderbrink is out now. It's Mark Reed at the wheel of the Deltec car. I think he had a little off there at one of the Porsche S's, I did notice, but and also Ollie
just now.
Pelkonen in the FA car did have a little off, I didn't notice, but he's back running, no contact with the walls, so he is all right.
I tell you what else I did notice as well was Dan Rusu tried to unlap himself from Ivan Navarro, got past him, and then promptly spun right in front of the poor guy. So I don't think he would have quite enjoyed that. So not good there for him. But Dan Rusu there is actually coming in with some good pace in that second drag, but he's a bit wild, and maybe chop a second off your lap time, or put it back on, your lap time, and then you'd stay facing the right way a little bit more.
Speak of spinners, Matt Richards I just saw then out of the last chicane, a little bit of a spin there for Simcraft. So second time I think he's done that, hasn't he? Last time hit the wall, this time it looks like he's avoided contact. So
well, it's lost him about 4 seconds because he'd got the gap down between himself and Navarro down to 1 lap and 27 seconds, but he's closing in on Navarro at the rate of over 5 seconds a lap, and that includes that spin. So
very quick pace. That's he's, if he can keep pushing on and try and get that consistency going, maybe try and avoid using the curbs as much. It seems that's twice now he's used probably a bit too much curbing, and that's sent him round. So maybe just be a little less aggressive on the curbing.
yeah.
So I'll ask I've asked this to everybody. So I'll ask it to you again, Reese. With the setup for your stint, you did the one stint, but with the setup you had there, did you find it comfortable for you?
Well, as I said before, these cars and me don't exactly gel well together, but the setup was pretty good. It was drivable and stable enough, I suppose. It's just the inherent handling characteristics of these flat sixes that just don't agree with me, really. But I was satisfied.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did notice your pace was quite nice, so it's better than I was doing. So, wishing I had your pace, but yeah, it looked pretty good. I mean, it must have been, at least as long as it was consistent, is the main thing, of course, with these 24-hour races.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, thank you very much. And I mean, like I said, I'm very happy with the way that myself and Smile Power have handled this race, and I'm really just egging Jesper on here.
Indeed, very true. So hopefully you can keep it together and get through for the win for them. They're now, I believe, now the whole lap ahead by the looks of it, and 32 seconds, so they've gained even more time here, and he is going quicker than Strain. So if he can keep up this pace, he looks like it's, it could be on the cards, but just got to stay out of trouble, of course. Still got time left for stuff to happen.
Yeah, certainly. The race is not over until it's over.
Yep, or was it not over till the fat lady sings, I believe is the old saying.
I have to get back behind my piano again, start jamming some tunes.
I was wondering when that was coming up.
It's been remarkably instrument light, this broadcast.
It has. You had that one time earlier, and that was it. It's been, well, I've been expecting a bit more, I'll be honest.
It may come out for the last couple of hours. Who knows? Who knows? Reese, quick fire questions then before of Sermon Secret Sausage 7 before we let you escape. Favorite track of all time.
Favorite track of all time? Oh, it's a bit of a holy trinity for me of Bathurst, Spa, and the Nürburgring. But you know, I'm Australian. I have to say that my favorite track is Bathurst. Otherwise, I'll be lynched. So Bathurst.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm noting this as a recurrent Aussie theme.
Yes, it's one of those things where you have to agree with the popular opinion, of course.
Yeah.
But Bathurst is in this case Bathurst is a legitimately amazing track, so it's justified.
So if I ask
you
both
have
of
to-
you, what would be your second favourite Australian track? What would it be?
Ooh.
Because no one's
Ooh.
mentioned any other
Oh.
Australian tracks apart from me with Adelaide.
Yeah, and
Okay, well-
Australia has some incredibly good tracks, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
there's Oran Park, you've got Sandown, that's a nice
Island.
track. Winton's there, Phillip Island, yep. Melbourne,
Barbagallo.
one track.
I
Barbagallo, yeah.
have to put a word in for Barbagallo because that's my home track.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Perth
yeah.
I praised
represent.
that.
I think for me, well, my closest track that I know is Winton. They have every year they have classic races there with the old Mustangs and the old bikes and the old race cars. And it's always really good, and I do really enjoy it. So I'd probably have to say Winton's my second favourite, to be honest.
My second favourite Australian track, I do have to put a word in for Barbagallo, as I said. It's my home track, and it's a lovely little race track. It's got some nice elevation changes and a fast-flowing layout, and it's nice and short, too. I really like short tracks. If there was a league that consisted solely of races on sub-1 minute tracks, I would be there, definitely. So I think Barbagallo. Alternatively, I'd say Adelaide, definitely. That's one of the best street circuits in the world, or the street circuit in Surfers Paradise.
Oh yes.
Yes, of course, yes.
I do like Surfers Paradise.
So
That is
the
one of
new
my favourite
layout?
street circuits.
So the new layout or the old layout?
Oh, the old one. I think it's been neutered a little bit with the new layout. It's a bit too short for my liking. I like the double chicane to start the lap.
Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. It reminds me of actually when our family, there was a period of time when Eurosport was just free on cable before it kind of went off somewhere.
The
And-
sheer thought of Eurosport being free.
I know. And it was back when in 1994-95 when Eurosport covered Formula 1 as well. And it used to be Surfers Paradise was the first kart race or IndyCar race that I ever watched, and I think because that memory is entrenched in my brain a little bit, it leaves me a little soft spot for surfers.
Yeah, it is
great.
one of the more underrated street circuits, and I definitely think that a significant open wheeler series should come back to it and use the old long layout. Definitely, it's one of those tracks that deserves some massive recognition.
What's your favourite racing series?
My favorite racing series.
Oh.
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, well, I've actually redone the 7 questions before, but I might add on mine. I think I said the V8.
Okay.
No, I said F1. Initially, I said F1, but I might add on to that. Obviously, we have to say V8s, don't we? Again,
Oh, you're so patriotic. It makes
Yep.
me sick.
Uh-huh.
we have to say it. We just have to. Otherwise, we get killed by all the Australians on the internet. They'll see us saying this, that it's not our favourite, and they literally hunt us down and kill us. So we have to say
Yeah.
that. But,
Such is the way of the Australians.
Yeah, that definitely. But otherwise, F1 that. I actually don't mind seeing as we're driving them, but I actually don't mind the Porsche Carrera series as both the international ones and our homegrown Aussie one. I do really like them. Just the cars, I just really love the sound of them. The flat sixes, I do really like the sound of them, and it's a really nice close racing they have as well. So that's probably one of my favourites as well.
Well, for me, certainly V8s, going over the whole patriotic thing again. But if we were talking International Racing Series, I'd probably go for the World Endurance Championship for me. Particularly LMP1. Le Mans prototypes are my favourite race cars ever. Absolutely my favourites because I can't really explain why. It's like the way they drive, how much downforce they have, how much technology and freedom the regulations allow, and just watching onboards of LMP1 cars going around Le Mans it just gives me the itch to get back into my chair, hook up my wheel, and go for a bit of a spin around Le Mans. So World Endurance Championship, I'd say.
Cool, cool.
Yeah.
Favorite racing game?
Oh, favorite racing game.
There's no Australian racing games, are there?
No, unless
not
you
good
count
ones.
the Toka Touring Car Series by Codemasters, which
Yeah, so-
featured V8 supercars.
Yeah.
So the V8 Supercar Series, you could half count because it was the main thing of it. But
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think it would have to be Race 07 by Simbin. I mean, I got into more realistic racing games and into gaming in general thanks to Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 4, but Race 07 was my first proper racing sim on the PC, and the friends that I made through that game and the experience that I gained, and it's one of those nostalgia things, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To this day, the Super 2000 Alfa Romeo 156 remains one of the racing cars that has one of those special spots in my heart. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm sure
And-
that's
and
where I
the-
met you,
yeah.
actually. It was on Race 07, somewhere along the line.
Yes, it was actually. Actually, I think the last broadcast you commentated on that I took part in was American Touring Car Championship pre-season for Season 3 at the Nürburgring Grand Prix.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you remember that.
Hey! Yeah.
We have good memories of Aussies sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, but
Great.
definitely Race 07, definitely.
Great stuff. Favorite film?
Favorite film? Oi, oi, oi. It's I'm not really much of a movie guy anymore. I mean, I just days struggle to find the motivation really to sit down and watch a movie, because I always get a bit fidgety and like I should be doing something else or something like that. But
There's no will.
Yeah, definitely. But out of the movies that I have seen, if we're talking animated films, I've got a really big interest in animated films. Anything by Don Bluth. Anything by Don Bluth. So, An American Tail, The Land Before Time, those were the movies that I grew up with, and I always have a bit of a soft spot for them. The Iron Giant as well,
Yep.
or anything that has been done by Brad Bird, like The Incredibles and other films like that. And if we're talking live action films, I'd have to say I don't really have an absolute favourite live action film, really. I'd say Rush is right up there for obvious reasons. And when I saw The Shawshank Redemption, I was absolutely blown away by it. And I think that's pretty much my answer for that one.
Great. If you could invent a flavour of crisp, what would it be?
A flavour of crisp. I'm sorry to disappoint everybody watching the broadcast, but I actually don't like flavoured crisps. I stick to original salted.
What?
Yeah, people, when I'm at a party, my friends will say, "Hey, you want some chips?" I taste one and it's salt and vinegar, and I retch. I dry retch. I absolutely hate salt and vinegar crisps. But if I were to invent a flavour, oh my goodness. If you could somehow if you could somehow put into flavor, into a flavor powder, the flavor of Taleggio cheese. That is what I would, because a lot of my friends actually don't know this, but I massively nerd out about cheese. I love cheese and how it's made, kinds of cheese, all that sort of stuff. And Taleggio is my favorite cheese. So I think if I could get Taleggio potato chips, that would be heaven. That or a ribeye steak.
There you go. Yeah, true.
Awesome stuff. What would your superhero name be?
Oh my goodness. I've never really given that much thought, to be completely honest with you. I'd probably be like some sort of bionic man kind of setup with my nerve damaged arm being replaced by some awesome robotic arm with giant weapons on it and stuff like that. I don't know. If I was given, I mean, people have asked me in the past if I want to get my arm amputated or anything like that, and I think, well, really, no, I don't really have any reason to, and this arm's become a part of my identity, so to speak. But if I was given the option to have a millions of dollars worth prosthetic limb that had these awesome robotic attachments, I'd take it in a heartbeat, man. I really would. It would be absolutely amazing. So I think some sort of play on Southpaw and something robotic or really cool. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't really given it much thought.
Cool. That's fine. And lastly, your views on should motor racing be an Olympic sport?
Should motor racing be an Olympic sport? I really... I've given this a bit of thought in the past. I mean, I am of the opinion that motor racing is a sport. I mean, some of my friends would disagree with me on that, but I feel that motor racing has enough attributes of sporting stuff that makes it a sport. But when it comes to Olympic sports, I really, I'm not too sure that motor racing really fits the atmosphere or the scope of the Olympics, really. That's my opinion on it. I mean, the Olympics is for athletics and other stuff like that. I mean, of course, there are the exceptions like shooting. I don't know why that's an Olympic sport, to be completely honest with you. But yeah,
that's just so people can shout, "Pull!"
Yeah. But I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it becoming an Olympic sport, but I can't really think of any reasons why it should be an Olympic sport.
There you go. Just quickly again back to the race here. Roy Schroden has pitted for drag, but interestingly, no change for fronts. Looks like he's going to keep that front splinter off. Splitter. Looks like he didn't reattach it there, so obviously it's not that bad. So he's going to stick with it without it.
Great stuff. I don't know if anyone is watching the Formula 1, but just be delighted. If you don't want spoilers, cover your ears for the next 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Vettel's had a problem already. Ha!
Yes.
Oh my goodness, the race has started?
Yeah, it started at 1 o'clock.
Oh dear. This is a problem. This is a very big problem. Oh,
we'll see you later.
Not to say... Yeah, not to say that I did not like being in the broadcast booth. This was incredibly good. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
Yeah, no worries. Too easy.
But you're now off for the race. Off you go. Enjoy.
Okay. Goodbye.
See ya.
Good luck, guys. Have a good broadcast.
I will. Thank you.
Ah, dear.
Well,
nothing cheers me up better than a Vettel issue. So the race.
Good to hear someone else say that because I could not agree more. So, do you want me to run through the order of what it is right now?
That would be fantastic, because I need to go and grab a drink for my throat, please.
Alright, sweet. I'll just run through that now. So, in the lead, we have Jesper Tolberg in the small power car. He's got a 2-minute 18 gap and 1 lap back to Eric Strachan in the Enterprise GP car. Third place is the Drag car number 1, Roy Schroed. He's 3 minutes 1 and 2 laps behind Eric. Next up in the THR car is Ivan Navarro. He's 1 minute 56 and a lap behind Roy. Next up in 5th spot, Simcraft car number 1, Matt Richards. Still going after a couple of spins down there on the main straight. He's a minute 44 and 3 laps behind Ivan there in the THR. Doing some decent laps there, Matt. Next up is the FA racing car of Ollie Pelkonen. He is a minute 10 and 2 laps behind Matt. Next up is my boys in the TSA. Cameron Brewster in there at the moment. TSA car 7th. 1 minute 16 and a lap behind Ollie there, FA Cup. Next up is the Mazurek Indonis entry of Mike Schroden. He is 3 minutes 22 and 2 laps behind Cam. Next up is the Waters, I can never say that right. Dave, is it Walters or Waters? Very embarrassing.
I've always said it was Waters.
Yeah, that's what I thought, so I'll just say Waters. Eric Tvit, sorry if I'm saying that last name wrong. He is there in 9th, 44 seconds, and how many laps is that? My maths is dreadful. It is 9 laps behind Mazurek. Next up is the Woods racing car of Mark Fuller at the wheel at the moment, and they are 1 minute 42 and 2 laps behind Waters. Then it's Cosmo with Quinton Plain there going along in 11th spot. They are 3 minutes 48 and a lap behind Woods. Then it's Dan Rousseau in the second drag after he's having a few issues keeping the consistency going. Hopefully he can find a bit of a groove. He's 2 minutes 29 and I believe that's 12 laps behind Cosmo. And then rounding up the rear is the ever continuing and ever consistent, or whatever, not giving up, keep it going, Deltec. Mark Reed at the wheel at the moment. They are 3 minutes and 11 seconds and 13 laps behind Drake. And that is your field at the moment. Still got all 13 cars in the race, no retirements, so that's good to see. So good on the field. At the moment, not really any battles happening. It's all pretty quiet at the moment. There's a few who are close. Matt is quite close to THR. There's Simcraft THR, but they are separated by 2 laps. So if he does pass him, it won't actually be for position just yet. Otherwise, everyone seems to be on separate laps. There's not many that are actually on the same lap, so not many battles, unfortunately. It's a bit quiet, but anything can happen. There's still 3 hours to go, so plenty of time.
All it takes is one disconnection or something, doesn't it? And then it all starts to throw itself back into the mix again, so...
Very true. So, should we get another one in, or we've got 3 in waiting?
I think we do, because we'll be looking at closing off the interview soon, so make sure that everyone gets their say. Who we got?
Simon M. See that?
Must be Mr. Melhuish.
Oh, yes, Melhuish. Head up.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing well, how about you?
Not so bad, thanking you. Who are you cheering on today?
No one.
Conscientious objector.
I'm still feeling a bit rough from my drinking game yesterday.
Ooh,
Dolts.
it's gonna be fun.
Oh, as Dan Russo just tries to unlap himself from Eric Veit and then bins it again. So clearly unlapping yourself is a bad thing to be doing for Mr. Russo. So what was the drinking game?
Every time I saw someone cut on the broadcast, I'd swig a drink.
Ooh,
Aww.
wow.
And the THR was really hurting my head.
Aww.
Yes, I'm going to name and shame them, I don't care.
Boo.
Well.
Well, at least he was entertained. So that won't be too bad. So nice to not be doing the cameras.
Yeah.
You can if you want, I don't mind.
It's a nice break, and I'm always doing it, so...
Oh, and do you think you'll spend some more time back out on track doing some racing here and there?
I'm doing WSS and ITC here, and then I'm doing when the entry's open, I'm going to do a R-Factor 2 Endurance Series.
Oh, cool.
But other than that, not really.
What's the difference between an endurance race on R-Factor 2 and R-Factor 1 then? Because I still don't have RFT.
The tyres. You've got to be really, really, really careful on the tyres because they just overheat and wear out, and then you've got no grip whatsoever, and then you're just spinning.
Oh, okay.
And the flat spots is a interesting experience as well.
You don't do them by the sounds of it.
Yeah, it takes a whole different driving style from R Factor 1 to R Factor 2, because R Factor 1 you can lock up as much as you like and get a bit of smoke, but nothing else really matters.
That doesn't sound like R Factor 2 would be much more good for my driving style then. That would be me doomed. Oh, damn. Okay. Fancy doing the Simon's Secret Sausage 7?
Yeah, I can do.
What is your favourite track of all time?
Oh, probably Zolder. And everyone says Spa, but I went for the other Belgian track.
Zolder is cool, actually. I do like Zolder. Favourite racing series?
V8 Supercars.
Oh,
Good to hear.
you're not even an Aussie.
Yes.
I feel like I'm being Aussied out of the record. No good fun.
That's just because I'm here. They must feel like they have to say it to impress me. It's like, oh, it's an Aussie, better say V8s.
Well, it's mainly because obviously in the British touring cars, Triple Eight have got a team in V8s that they run the Red Bull racing team. So I started following that like about 8 years ago, whenever they joined, and I sort of stuck with it and fell in love with the sport.
Yeah, no, it's a good fun, that's for sure. Some good, some big crashes, I can tell you that much, especially at Bathurst. Whew. Big ones there.
This will be an interesting one then. Favourite racing game? Or sim?
Project Cars, maybe. That's quite fun to play. R Factor 2, obviously. I fell out. I don't really like R Factor 1 anymore. It's got a bit long in the tooth. Maybe anything that's on a like GT Legends or something on the old G-Mage 2 engine or something else. I don't really have like a definitive one I like.
Good shout out for GT Legends, actually. No one's mentioned that so far. That is an awesome game. Did you ever play the old Grand Prix Historic, whatever it was?
Oh, yeah.
That was great fun. Favourite film?
The best motor racing film ever, Driven.
Yes.
I bet no one's mentioned that today either.
No.
No, you won with that bet. All of the story and all of the plot.
All of the gear changes.
Yeah, that's true. There's someone was going up off the track there, but I clicked away from them instead of clicking on them. Stupid. Anyway, Cameron Brewster's back in the TSA Wix car. If you could invent a flavour of crisp, what would you go for?
I'm not really a fan of crisps, so I'd probably just say diesel, just so people don't eat them.
Oh, damn. Yeah, people wouldn't eat that, that's for sure. I wouldn't touch that, but that's a 10-foot pole. It's a good way to get people off crisps now. Now we know, just insert diesel into it.
Or coffee, that's the same with chocolate, isn't it? Just put coffee in there
That's
and everyone's
true,
like,
yeah.
ugh.
Not a coffee cream fan. Your superhero name?
I don't know. I'd probably be one of those people that would like to be sort of no one knows who they are sort of thing, and then sort of save the day and no one knows who did it.
Oh, yeah. It was nice to keep
Undercover.
her hidden.
Yeah. All a bit date rape to me. Should motor racing be an Olympic sport?
No, that's for people that can run and stuff. Maybe they. Well, I would say the Race of Champions is sort of like an Olympic sort of thing, isn't it? They do all the little races and that, and have the countries racing against each other and stuff.
That's true, yeah.
Maybe they could use an event from the Olympics. What's that one where they do like 7 events? Could do like rallycross.
Heptathlon.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one. Do that, but in motor racing terms, I guess. I'm not
That could
sure.
work, yeah.
But short answer, no.
Awesome. Okay. I have to say, actually, throughout this broadcast, it has nigh on been a 50-50 split, yes versus no, all the yeses have had caveats in. There doesn't seem to be a specific yay nay answer, so all interesting. Cool. Have you got the F1 on as well?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
No, I don't. It's all good.
No spoilers. Anyway.
Yeah, I won't say anything, because people are probably waiting to watch it after this race or something.
Oh, Kobayashi wins.
Max Chilton wins.
It'd be nice when like the Mauritius or the Caterhams win. That I'd actually would want that just to really throw a spanner in the works. It'd be hilarious.
Need to bring back Minardi and everything's saved.
Yes.
Yes, do it. And it wins, or it gets like they get like a podium, and everyone's like, oh.
My poor Minardi's subs. Anyway, as Cameron Brewster pops into the pits for TSA, Winton Plain has a minor off. The Cosmo, I think everything else is roughly as it should be, so that's all good. Thanks for popping into the old broadcasty boofy. Hope to see you back in here soon, so.
Yeah, nice popping in to speak to you guys, and hopefully you don't do a disappearance this time.
Wow, already done that.
Wasn't food poisoning this time, was it?
No, I just conked out and fell asleep. All like drooly and horrible. Never mind.
Can't get the star.
No, not anymore. Not these days. Take it easy, mate.
Bye.
Alright. So, looks like Josh is actually not going to be there, so... Oh, look, it's one of my pros in TSA. Well, hello there, fellow Tom.
Hello, sorry, I've just got to mute the broadcast quickly. I'm watching it. Alright, that's done. I don't want to hear your voices twice. That was sick.
That would be very...
Would it turn yourself up?
Maybe.
So how's the car going? Normally, obviously I've driven it, I don't know how it is, but how's it been going for you in the last couple of stints?
My first stint, the car felt completely different to how it was feeling the day before. I mean, we did kind of change the pressures by like only 3 kPa, but the car just felt completely different. It was horrible the first stint. We put the pressures back for my second stint, and I loved it. Managed to get some good pace, and then made a small mistake and got a bit of damage on the car, which slowed the car down. But my final stint, which I did just over an hour ago, the car was a little bit oversteery, but I managed to get some good pace and managed to get the team in a good position.
Good to hear, good to hear. Yeah, we're 7th now, so that's good. It's good. Thanks to Majorek, kind of helped out there with their DC problems, so...
Yeah, that was very unfortunate for them. I mean, we all kind of cheered when it was like, oh, Schroeten's disconnected. We were like, yes, now we can get past them. We have like a huge advantage. But it's like, oh, they're disconnected. That's very unfortunate for them, sort of thing. I mean,
yeah.
we would have liked to have caught them on kind of just on pace. And it kind of feels like maybe we haven't quite earned this position, but we have had some mess ups as well. So, you know, you got to deal with what you've been given, really.
Yeah, true that, yeah. Yeah, no, it's going alright though, it's going alright. How's been, I know obviously we've been doing engineering for each other, it's a bit, what do you reckon of it, boring, or keeps you on your toes?
How do you mean?
As in just when you're, spotting, I mean, sorry, I should say spotting.
Oh, yes,
yeah.
Well, when this whole kind of live scoring plugin got announced, it's like you need kind of like a spotter there just in case you get penalties. Like, right, I'll do that up until this certain time and stuff like that. And you know, apparently I've been helpful. I try not to kind of speak over when people are going around corners. I wait for them to kind of say, "Can I have lap times?" And I read them out. Any more information, stuff like that. I try not to distract them. I wait until they're in a good position, and then, or like on a straight, and then give them the information that they need.
Yes, very true, yeah. Yeah, there's the pace. How is everything going in there? Just pulling back into our factory real quick. Anyone pitting? No. Oh, looks like, no, Mark's letting someone go. Don't worry, I thought there was a problem for Deltec, but he was just letting through some lap traffic. There's still a lot of people running around without front. Yeah, that's a word, but front splitters. Roy Stroden's still running around without a front splitter there. I think the Cosmo's still running around without one as well. So clearly, people are deciding that's not worth it and they're just going with it. So interesting to see.
Yeah, I think people are starting to think that, you know, it being later on in the race, that you're going to lose more time in the pit trying to get it repaired than you will staying out on track.
Yes, very true, very true. So, maybe here's one I just thought of. So, how's for you for obviously doing this endurance race? You know, obviously before you've been doing ITC and all these other shorter length races. How have you found for changing for this endurance longer stint times? Do you change your driving style at all, or is it sort of as per normal?
I've had to adapt to the car setup. I mean, when I was first given the setup, I hated it. It was so oversteery. I just couldn't handle the car. I actually kind of said to the team that I can't guarantee that this car will make it back, because I just couldn't drive it. We made a few changes on the tyre pressures, and all of a sudden the car just felt great. I don't know how just changing the pressures by a little bit managed to kind of give it a bit more grip and suit my style a bit more. But once we kind of got that, I've kind of adapted to it. And unfortunately, yesterday when I woke up with a tonsil infection, so I was kind of put off a bit. Just watching the podcast, so I'm getting a bit wary. So I kind of wasn't in the best kind of mindset, if you know what I mean. So my first stint, I was sore throat, kind of couldn't really do much, can't eat, can't drink. And then this morning, I've just kind of got rid of it, and then I did a pretty good stint today.
Yeah, no, very true. So after this 24-hour, of course, we've got the 12-hour later on down the track. I know Bathurst was the last one. That's obviously the most important to me for obvious reasons. So with the upcoming ones for Masters, after doing this 24-hour, are you keen to do them now after experiencing how endurance is?
I'm looking forward to the Nordschleife 24-hour, not 24-hour, 12-hour. Sorry. I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking to the is it Bathurst 1000?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to those two races. I mean, they're my top two favourite tracks. So they're very technical, very punishing if you make a mistake. So you've always got to be on the ball, and you know.
Yeah, that's very true. So, what do you think? What do you think of the Porsches as the car? Do they suit your driving style? Do you think, or are they a bit sort of maybe too tail happy for what you like in a car?
When I first drove them, I thought they were just horrendous, but I've had to adapt, and I think I've adapted quite well. I mean, I've been given some tips on how to get the car more stable whilst braking, and I've had to kind of be careful on the steering. I've got to feel more with the wheel, know when to put the power down and whatnot. But yeah, I kind of start to like the cars now, as opposed to when I first tested them, absolutely loathing them.
Yeah, no, I was same for here. Really, it was a bit of an adjustment, but you know, they remind me a little bit. Sort of the V8s are kind of the same. They're very tail happy kind of cars. So of course they don't have an engine over the rear, but same sort of principle. Very very tail happy and floaty when you drive them. So they sort of suit my style, I think, and I'm quite happy with them. I like oversteery cars. It just seems to and handle it better than understeer, personally.
I actually prefer understeer to oversteer, because understeer, you know, you can go slower into the corner, whereas oversteer, you've really got to back out to keep the car, like, going straight.
Yeah, no, I don't know, it's just something about the way my style is that understeer I just can't handle, whereas I like it just a bit nervous, so not overly, but just so, you know, it just so the tail will just go out enough, so I'll just go, that's the limit, alright, bring it back in, just, you know, a bit of give, not just dead straight. I like a bit of give there, just so I know where the limit is.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean, but I just don't like oversteer at all. I mean, if I can, I try and get the car set up balanced, so I feel really comfortable. I go over a comfortable setup over a fast setup, because I know that with a comfortable setup, I can be quicker than some of the guys who've gone for pure speed, because I know the car limitations, and I can always push that much.
Very true, very true. So, Simon, do you want to do the questions, or shall we do the questionnaires?
No, I found it just quite interesting. You chatting about the car in general, because it's like sitting in the back room of a team debrief.
Yeah, it is. I was just about to mention that. Yeah,
Without
just
swearing.
of course. Yes, indeed. It's just like the F1 debriefs after the race. They make sure. I always love Crofty. He's like, "Oh, it's so good seeing these guys after the race." And then And Martin's like, well, you know, it is televised. It's not like they're going to say anything too drastic, but her der Crofty. But
Multi 21.
I will say, don't say anything about the Formula One. I'm not watching it. I can't watch it until 7:30 because I don't have Sky.
Yep, don't mention it. I'm not
I've got to wait for the BBC coverage.
I'll be watching the BBC coverage properly because I've tried to find a stream, quote unquote, which is a little bit hairy. So no.
No, I remember. I'm just now reminiscing for some reason. F1 reminds me of the days back in 2011. Me and Tom used to race back then online.
Did, yes.
That was always fun. Yeah, bloody the AI. That lag. Lag. My word.
Well, there were worse issues in, I think it was 12, with each car online having like a bubble around them where you basically spin someone and you wouldn't even touch them.
Yeah, the lag bubble, yeah. It's still famous these days. Yeah, no, I remember 2011. I'm trying to remember who was quicker. I still think you were quicker. I still maintain that. I'm always maintain that you were quicker.
I'm going to say that we were kind of on par with each other, you know.
Yeah, probably. And I remember, and that was back in the day. I did use the wheel every now and then, but I actually mostly used the controller for that, just because it just suited me at the time. So I use a wheel for R Factor, but yeah. But F1 I used the controller, but that was good fun. Especially when we always went for like the Williams or something. That was good fun. But bloody AI. I think that's right. I remember now. It was Rosberg. I always got ruined by Rosberg for some reason.
Yeah, there's something about him in all the F1 games. He just seems to be on like maximum aggression or something.
He does. Yeah, he's got a hate for everyone. So he's got anger in his eyes or something. Something his past, maybe. Maybe Codemasters have something from his past they've tapped into just to put into the games.
I know you can't talk much about Codemasters, to be fair, but how are you enjoying your time over there now as part of a development pace?
It's been great fun. I mean, this is technically my first job. And to get in with a games company in a QA position, it's I never thought it would happen, but yeah, it's great fun at times, but sometimes you're just doing some kind of mundane task and you start falling asleep at the desk, which is never good. But it is fun. You get to test products that you can't talk about, which is a struggle.
Poker 12.
But yeah, I've got like what am I trying to say? I've kind of bonded well.
Leak a release.
I've bonded well with the team. We're all kind of friends. We have chats every now and again. We start laughing and stuff like that. When we find issues, we kind of go over and say, "Can you check this out for me? I've had this happen. Has it happened for you?" Like I work on one build. Guy works on another sort of thing, and we just need to kind of check to make sure that it either works on this or it doesn't. If you know what I mean. But yeah, it's.
No, go for it.
It is great fun, and I'm on a 3-month contract, and I'm hoping for it to be extended for another 3 months at the end of July.
Is that just dependent down to what kind of flow of development they've got going through and what they need, or is it just if you can't find any bugs?
It's based on like how much work they have for us and basically their budget. I mean, they brought on, I think it was 18 to 20 temp staff, and I was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And by the sounds of it, we will probably get an extension that they can't kind of guarantee at the moment, but we should have enough work for the next couple of months.
Cool. The Grid Autosport comes out for them the end of this week, I think it is.
Yep, Friday.
Is there anything that you can kind of say, I suggested that, or I QA'd that, and so that bit is now working perfectly thanks to me?
I think I'll be able to say that I didn't suggest anything. I mean, suggestions kind of get overlooked. We focus on just fixing bugs and making the game playable.
Mm-hmm.
I had to play through the entire open wheel career on the hardest difficulty. So
Fun.
yeah, that was an experience, I'll put it that way. But yeah, that took up quite a lot of time, and yeah, it was interesting to see how it's kind of developed. And yeah, it was kind of great fun to do at the start, but towards the end, after you've been working on it for so long and you start getting angry because you're on the hardest difficulty and you're trying to go for wins, you just start going, I just want this done now. I don't care how I do it, I just want this done.
What was that, playing through that on the hard difficulty? Is that to make sure that the balance of difficulty is right for them, or...?
It was kind of a mixture of that and plus just making sure that you can actually go through the entire kind of discipline without there being any freezes or transition errors. So I can basically go from start to finish without having to reboot the game, without any, just without having progression locked. So like you get up to a certain bit and it just won't unlock the next stage.
Yeah.
Because as soon as that happens, it gets rejected by Sony. Because I'm working on PlayStation. They reject it. It costs Codemasters money, and they have to redo all this work to get it kind of ready for submission again.
Yeah, because I remember there's been a couple of indie games that it's weird, and Sony Europe has different rules to Sony America and so on, by the sounds of it as well, because I've seen games that have been released over in America and yet Sony Europe will reject them, and you're kind of like, well, how does that work? But that's how they work.
Yeah, and it's even tougher with patches as well for issues found after the game's been released, because each region, it costs the company £50,000, and since there's like 5-6 regions, it costs them $250,000 just to release one patch.
That's ridiculous.
That's why when people said we want this bug fixed, it takes forever to do, because they're trying to lump everything together so that they can just kind of cut the costs down.
Yeah. I wonder how much they charge to cut out some pointless DLC that's on the disc.
Oh, I was given the DLC on a memory stick just to test that out as well.
I love it.
Well, there we go. At least we know DLC's coming for the game. There's a leak. Done. Not that that was ever going to be a leak. You knew it was happening anyway.
I think they've kind of announced a season pack or whatever it is. Anyway,
okay.
I think they have. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. There's a special edition.
I'll probably go to
extra
work
bits.
tomorrow and just found out I've been fired. Whoopsie.
Never mind. But no, it's interesting that the DLC really is already ready to go. I don't know about future stuff, but yeah, okay. Question time for Mr. Jacobs. Do you think it's time, Mr. Hinds?
I think it's time. We've interrogated enough.
Anything going out on track before I launch in?
Oh, yes, sorry, on track, Deltec I didn't notice, looks like another crash again. I saw the front of their car, well, the bumper on the ground again, so it looks like there's another crash there. Let's have a look here. Anything, doesn't look like anyone's pitting, just that crash from Deltec, so hope they can keep it going.
Okay, so for your Secret Simon Sausage 7, for the final time of asking in this broadcast, what is your favourite track?
My favourite track is the Nordschleifer.
I think that is definitely one. That question, with Bathurst a close second.
Yes.
Maybe far third. No one has said Monaco.
I'll say Monaco.
Oh, they said Monaco.
Monaco's nice, but you got to be in the right cars for it to actually kind of be nice, if you know what I mean.
Monaco's nicer than going to Lupo. You can drive anything in Monaco.
That's true.
Well, not
You can
tanks.
run around Monaco.
That's something, race tanks, that's the idea.
We'll try it next year.
I'll definitely sign up for that.
What is your favourite racing series?
Favourite racing series? I will say, being at work and during the lunch breaks, I've been watching the Blancpain Endurance racing. Because you got like the Nissan Nismo GTR team in there. And seeing names I've kind of raced against in Simracing, like Florian Strauss, race in that and doing well. And you just end up rooting for the Nissan team, and you know, the races are 3 hours long, so it takes up multiple lunch times. That's one of my favourite ones.
And bonus extended lunch. Can't beat any of that.
Well, I only get 45 minutes, so...
Oh, poor contract. Favourite racing game?
Oh. Since I work at Codemasters, I have to say an F1 game, so it's F1 2010, but I don't know. I think I'm going to go with a game I used to play on PS2, and I spent hundreds of hours playing, which is Street Racing Syndicate. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. It was kind of like a Need for Speed knockoff, but somehow it was kind of better. I found it really enjoyable.
Okay, cool. Do you know what? The name rings a bell, but I'm not sure I've ever played it. So
I think it was just kind of labelled as SRS.
okay, I'll have to have a wee thought on that one. So okay, if it's available on a PlayStation, I will definitely add it to my basket. Favorite film?
Favourite film? I'm gonna have to go with The Amazing Spider-Man and Amazing Spider-Man 2. I mean, when they came out, I was kind of a bit sceptical, going, "Oh, it's another Spider-Man film by Sony. It's going to be kind of like was it Tobey Maguire trilogy? It's like, it's not going to be that good." I picked it up 2 months ago on Blu-ray, watched it, and I was kind of blown away by it. It's like, "Oh, this is actually a hell of a lot better than I thought." And because of that, I went and saw the second one, and that was even better. So I'd have to say that just because they impressed me so much, I have to go with the Amazing Spider-Man series.
Spinning a web of deceit around their films. If you could invent a flavour of crisps, what would it be?
I think I'd invent two.
Really?
Well, chicken chow mein and hoisin duck. Those would be the ones I'd go for. If I had to choose one, it'd probably be the duck.
Okay. Having a duck. If you were a superhero, what would you call yourself?
I think I'd have to call myself the No Breaker because of I used to race with the TSA guys. That was kind of my nickname. So because I'd break so late, I'd end up hitting people in the games. So yeah, the No Breaker.
Or more, maybe it's the Ultimate Breaker because you've ruined everyone's rear wing.
Or I go around to their cars and actually nick the brake discs off them.
That actually works.
Screw being a superhero, I want to be a super villain.
Aww, you're a bad boy. I think Matt Richards has been off the track in the Simcraft.
He has, yes.
Once again.
Looks like he's limping it back.
Notice Mark Reed going to fix his damage, and also Mark Fuller had an off down at Minneapolis, but it's nothing too major.
Oh, okay. And then for the final question for you, Mr. Jacobs, do you think motor racing should be an Olympic sport?
I think. Did you say? I think you said about it would be an Olympic sport if it was something like the Race of Champions. I'd have to agree with that, but any other kind of form of sport, no. I mean, it's too technical. There's a lot of things you can do around the cars, as others have said, and I just think that there's not really. There is input from the driver, but it's not all about them, if you know what I mean. Whereas sprinting, it's all about physical speed, and with the 1500 and the 10 kilometer, it's all about endurance and pushing people's bodies to the test. And motorsport does that in a way with G-forces and stamina, but it's more based around the car's endurance than the driver, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think what I've gained out of that question is that actually I'd quite like to see the Takeshi's Castle TV show turned into an Olympic sport.
That would be amazing. That really would be amazing. I'd definitely watch the Olympics every 4 years just for that.
Or the Crystal Maze. Does anyone remember, this shows my age, the early 90s programme Run the Gauntlet?
I've heard of it. I can't remember seeing it. I think I'm too young.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think likewise.
Damn. That's about as close as you could get to a motorised Olympics. You'd have loads of people on ATVs running around, and then you'd get points, and then you'd get onto hovercrafts and try and do the same thing. And yeah, anyway. And there was an assault call somewhere in the middle of that as well. It was good fun. Right, thank you very much, Mr. Jacobs. Anything you want to secretly squirrel past to your teammate whilst on air?
I will say that after my stint today, Karen Brewster and Matthew Williams has done a cracking job right now. We're not that far off. Oh well, we're a lap down, but with an hour and a half remaining, I think we can maybe catch up if we keep the pace going. I don't know that. Yeah, we might be able to catch up. So they're doing a good job, and I'm looking forward to the end of this race to see where one TSA end up and who wins, because there's still anything can happen within the next hour and a half.
Very true.
Oh, Nick, go for it.
Oh no, I was just looking at the timing. So I did notice. I feel so bad for saying this over and over and over. I'm picking on him. I feel so bad. I'm very, very sorry, Daniel. But I did notice Russo going around again at the hairpin. Very sorry, Daniel. I know I keep saying it, but I just happened to notice it as I was picking through the cars.
That seemed to have quite a lot of off-track excursions, but still going. That's the main thing. Well clear of Mark Reed, to be fair. So
Could be worse.
good. Anywho, thank you very much, Mr. Jacobs.
Thank you.
And we shall drop you out there.
Alright.
That leaves us, I think, with the ultimate last person that we should interview, because
Wasn't
he is sat
first
through.
as well?
Huh?
Wasn't he first as well on the broadcast?
What, Tom Jacobs was first?
No, Josh.
Josh, yeah, Josh was one of the first people. No. Oh no, I didn't know if he was doing Josh again. I was going to say you.
Oh god, no.
Uh,
Nobody deserves that.
Yes, we do. We want a DCS interview.
Come on, Dave. We all want it. We all want this. Come on. Go do it.
Take one
Go
for
to
the
bed
team.
afterwards.
You can do once the race is over.
Okay.
There we go. So locked in.
Okay, so for the man who has sat and endured all of the hours and is still standing, just about. What is your favourite track?
Do I need to answer that?
I know what it's going to be.
Of course it's Monaco.
Yay! What's your favourite corner at Monaco?
I like the fast chicane leading into the swimming pool bit.
Oh no, I don't like it since they've taken the barriers back so much, because I always smack the curb and go boink.
Yeah, I like it because I tend to have a different line to everybody, and it means that I can dive bomb them into that corner, and it annoys them.
I think that's a good dive bomb.
Is it a safe dive bomb though?
Sometimes. Depends who it is.
Bad times, bad times. Do you have a favourite racing series?
Not really. I used to watch an awful lot, but as of late I'm struggling to watch F1. This weekend I've not seen any of it at all. It's pretty much restricted now to just F1 when I do catch it, and the occasional BTCC if I can get to a race.
And have you been able to watch match racing just live, actually in person, in the flesh, anyway? Or is it just like a nice luxury if you can?
Not a huge amount. I've been to a couple of touring car races. I did the World Endurance Championship at Silverstone last year. A couple of British Grand Prix, and then obviously we did Italy last year, which was amazing. Thoroughly recommend that to anybody that's not been already. But no, not been to as much as I'd like to go to, that's for sure.
Okay, cool. Why would you recommend Italy? Because I've not done it.
It's just, if you've been to Silverstone and then you go to Italy, it makes you realise, well, Monza, it makes you realise how bad Silverstone actually is. Silverstone's in the middle of this flat land, whereas Monza, you've got the parks around it, and in between sessions you just go sit on the grass banks and wait for the next one.
Yeah, I just noticed that too. Well, looks like my TSA bros
dear.
have had a disconnect. That's not good. Chuggy's DC'd. Hope they can get back in as quick as possible. Very strange. I wouldn't have thought they would have been the ones to have the issues. Their connections are usually pretty smooth. It's usually my end that's struggling, but looks like something's happened.
Good at all. That kind of puts your plans on for yoinking 6th position very much on hold now.
Yeah, and also just on
Can
a
you
side
keep
note,
7th?
yeah, that's the question. That's the question. Ollie, I think we've got the better pace than Ollie, but that penalty might be what kills us. But we'll see, I guess. Also on a side note, Zurich did go, I think, for a pit stop. I did see Mike Schroeder in pit lane. Looks like he has stayed in the car, so they're continuing on.
What is your favourite racing game, then, Mr. Carsmith?
It'd be rude not to say R Factor, really, wouldn't it? For the price and the amount that you get out of it, well, I've certainly had out of it, by far the best purchase I've ever made.
Yeah.
There are other good ones. I was quite a big fan of the old GTR Evo games, and of course, Trackmania was always a favourite.
Yes.
But yeah, you can't beat R Factor for the value that it provides.
You ever played Trackmania, Tom?
I actually haven't. Yeah, I know. I feel like I should because it sounds like it'd be good, but no, I never have actually. It's kind of yeah.
I'm sure United's still out there because that's free. That one.
Ah, okay. I might have a look around for it.
I think it's on Steam now.
Ah, sweet. I'll have a look. Yeah, most for a long time I was more console based because I never had a PC that was good enough to run much. But now I've got a decent one. It's not amazing, but it's decent. So I get to play R Factor now and a couple other ones. So that's why I've gotten into this recently.
Great. I think that with Trackmania, there's nothing quite like doing a barrel roll running time trial with 60 other cars, and you can see them all flicking about everywhere as Matthew Williams enters back into the game again.
Yep.
It's a unique experience, this Trackmania. It's good fun.
Yeah, I might give it a look. It's free as well.
Favourite favourite film of all time?
I don't think I've got one. I do watch an awful lot of films, but I tend to just enjoy them all. I don't really have a specific favourite genre or type of film. I can just pretty much watch anything, and if it's you can't beat Sharknado, really, can you?
Hey! You did enjoy Birdemic.
This is true. Is there a sequel to that? I need to
yeah,
see the sequel.
Birdemic 2 Shock and Terror, I think it's called. Oh no, The Resurrection, sorry. Terrible. It is just as bad.
Anyone watching that's not seen that, do yourself a favour and go watch it now.
Not now. After the broadcast. Yeah, that is an amazing film. Okay. If you could invent a flavour of crisp, what would it be?
Well, everyone's kind of covered the whole pizza option, haven't they?
They have. We've even had all different pizza options in the same bag.
I'll tell you what we could go for, that nobody's mentioned, and I was very disappointed. Somebody needs to make Krispy Kreme crisps.
Ah.
That needs to happen.
It does. That'd be incredible. I'd get it just to try it out.
Would each crisp have a different filling?
Why not? A bit of variety.
It'd be like a puff pastry crisp.
That'd be incredible.
Nice stuff. Superhero name, what would you be?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't know that.
DCS. Because DCS does sound like you're a furniture store or selling sofas.
Excellent.
Do you
Yeah,
do interest-free credit?
Only for you.
Ah, special mates rates. Excellent stuff. It does. Come on down to DCS and you can get interest-free credit on a reclining sofa. Da 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 da. DCS.
There's the ad right there.
Oh yeah, jingle on the wingle. And do you think most racing should be an Olympic sport?
I think it could be. If you were to do something like somebody mentioned earlier, the Race of Champions Nations Cup style thing, and if you can have golf and dressage as an Olympic sport, I'm pretty sure you can fit some motorsport in there somewhere.
Golf's an Olympic sport?
It is now.
Was that the new one that was added, wasn't it?
Oh,
God.
There you go.
Oh well. I suppose ping pong's an Olympic sport.
It's true.
Is tiddlywinks?
It wouldn't surprise me. There's an awful lot of rubbish that they have as Olympic sports.
Olympic Monopoly. Actually,
What,
funny enough,
yeah.
I've got a film that is it's called Under the Broadwalk, and it's a documentary about the Monopoly World Championships. Fly on the wall. There's people getting proper psyched up over the fact that someone's stolen and put like a hotel on Mayfair, and they're like, "Damn it!" They're proper freaking out and accusing each other of cheating and being really bad sportsmen. It's hilarious over a board game.
That'd be awesome.
But it's because the winner, I think, gets, is it $1 million? It was something ridiculous, and I was like, what? Suddenly, playing Monopoly for a profession was not such a bad idea.
Also, on a side note, it looks like FA Racing's in. Ollie Pelkonen is in the pit lane at the moment. I don't know if he's doing a drive change. We shall find out. Doesn't look like it. It looks like Ollie's staying in the car.
TSA have lost a place as well.
Yeah, but he disconnects. Internet. I guess the internet gods were with us for a time, but not the whole time.
Well, he's just pulling out now, isn't he?
Out now. Yep. So get back on the job. Hopefully the connection can stay stable for us the race.
Well, it's showing for me that actually they are still in 7th. I don't know if that's just the timing sorting itself back out again.
Let's check mine. Yeah, mine says it's still 7th. They're still 7th, yep.
Yeah,
it's just that now.
One ahead.
Yeah, now it's just that our fight for 6th is a bit far probably now. So 2 laps, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit far out.
Talking of esports, actually, there was a thing that came out on Steam that was like a Steam-made film called Free to Play, which was following Dota, and the amount of money that's behind that for those huge championships. Esports, especially in the Eastern world, they've got like TV shows and all of that kind of stuff, and millions of pounds of backing or dollars of backing. Yet over in this side of the world, it just doesn't seem to carry the same nobility and weight, and it's considered like a cop-out option, like to run a YouTube channel as a business.
Was it the USA that now offers visas for esports competitors?
Really?
I'm sure
Might be, yeah.
I'm sure they allow esports competitors to apply for a specific visa relating to esport.
Wow.
That's good to get it recognised.
Also, looks like Mark Reed leaves the game. Oh no, they'll take the disconnect. They're going so well, just trudging along all day, and 2 hours before the end, there it is. But hopefully, we'll get back in sharpish. But Cosmo and Waters, are in the pit lane at the moment. Looks like Waters are not going to fix that front bumper. Likewise with Cosmo, so just going to roll with it.
Interestingly, the Simcraft guys have had notably less pit stops than everyone else. They're on 17.
I
Next
believe
best are
that's
19.
because they keep disconnecting. They had 4 disconnects.
Ah,
So when
yeah.
they do that, it automatically does a pit stop for them.
okay.
It's all pretty settled down a little bit now, except for these disconnects that are suddenly popping up out of nowhere.
That's cool about America.
Now Mazurek now just behind us in TSA here, only a minute 46 now behind on the same lap. The only 2 cars by the looks of it on the same lap now. So, but
No
Chuggy's
pressure.
pace looks yeah, I know. But Chuggy's pace looks good. He's done a 4:02, and Mike Schroden's done a 4:02.1. So he's doing better pace. So hopefully he can just keep that nice and consistent, keep it going.
Mr. Cameron Brewster would like to know if you can join for a chat.
Oh, I guess I'm being shoved out of the commentary box then. Yeah, I might as well go and chat to him. He's my boss after all.
No, not you leaving.
He's
said
coming
you
in.
can join here.
Oh, he's coming in. Oh, great. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
I
I'm trying to get rid of you just
no! Don't let him in! No.
You may as well. Well, hello there, Cam.
Hello. 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 Hello
Yeah.
How is everybody? And how is Simon after being abducted by aliens?
Yeah,
Did they use their probe, Simon?
maybe.
Sorry, it's midday on a Sunday. I should be more sensible. Oh dear. The internet. What a horrible mistress it is.
Oh, very much so, very much so.
So what happened to the
Shaggy.
disconnect then?
Well, I was listening to the stream and I heard Mr. Hinz say, Chuggy's disconnected, and we all panicked. Chuggy panicked when I told him. And then he thought everything was possibly going to sort itself out, and then as he crossed the line, do a 3-minute 58 second something, which would have been the fastest lap for TSA, it said connection lost.
Oh,
I like
So
how he
fast.
found out about his disconnect through the broadcast.
Yeah. But no, he's back in the car now. He's fueled up, fresh rubber, and or he's even more determined to set even more stupidly fast laps for us. That is.
Dimitri Tumanis has just joined in for the Deltec team, and he said that he wasn't going to be doing any more racing, so that's clearly an unplanned swap over as well. So a couple of discos towards the end, and may change a position or two.
Yeah, it's such a
Right.
shame that it happened so late on, but I guess it's
yeah.
one of those things when you do sim racing, isn't it?
Connections are not always stable.
It could be worse. We might not have been running the plug-in and then you disconnect with an hour to go.
That is a good point, Dave. That is a very good point. No, it's been immense fun. I've loved driving the cars around this track. I apologise to Phil Morby for possibly giving him a heart attack. 'Cause in my first stints this morning, I noticed that I got within half a second of Chuggy's fastest time. I don't know whether you've been on the TSA Racing Facebook page, facebook.com/TSA Racing. And yeah, he sort of said, calm down, and I said, what's your name, Rocky? After Vettel's lovely race engineer. And then I secretly went and beat Chuggy's fastest time in my last stint, and before Chuggy disconnected, I think he was just going all out mad and smashed it. So, no, it's been good fun. And it's been a great effort from all the guys, including you, Mr. Hinz.
Oh, no, I wasn't that consistent, but I tried.
That's just a shame, your internet's hopeless.
Crap. Too fun.
I'm sure by this time next year for the next Le Mans, we'll have sort of bought a shed, especially for you, over here.
Just ship over there, yeah, ship me over. Good word. Well, your worst internet would still be better than our best, probably.
Wouldn't go that far.
Oh, okay. They like though how Harley messaged me on TS before, asking how I got the thing to work once. I was like, how did you get to work? I was like, pure luck.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Oh, this worked last time. No, crashed.
Didn't work this time. Yep.
We love you, R Factor.
Mm.
How have you guys found commentating and whatnot?
A lot of fun.
Obviously, Simon, you passed out.
I went for a quick. All I wanted to do was I said, "Oh, leave me for 15 minutes so that I can just close my eyes for a second because I was like feeling a bit groggy." And then next minute, I was like, "Oh, it's quite bright in this room." Looked at my watch, looked at my phone, which somehow I'd managed to smear my face all over it because my glasses were wrapped around it as well. So clearly, I'd proper like just gone blah, and yeah, wiped away the dribble off the phone, and it said 11:10, and I was like, ah. And as soon as I get to my computer, there's a poke from Dave saying, "This is a little bit more than 15 minutes, Simon." It's like, yeah.
I think quite a few people were worried as to what had happened.
Apologies, all.
That's alright. Dave manned the ship while you were gone. By manned the ship, I mean he pressed the occasional button.
Well,
He's been pressing the occasional button for the past 20 hours.
That is true. But it's good that we've been able to have a 24-hour broadcast. I remember even in the previous With the first endurance races that I used to take part in, it would just be we'd come on for a couple of hour segments at different points during the actual race itself. So we didn't actually cover the entire broadcast at all. And then it was the crazy ones of, let's do the whole 12 hours. Then a few full 24-hour ones without food poisoning and falling asleep. Then there was the infamous food poisoning one. And now there's this I've just fallen asleep one. So maybe I'm past my prime now and I need to be put in a box.
I think you got a few more years left in you yet, Simon.
How long? Yeah, I've got a few more inches on my waistline with the amount of food that I've stuffed to try and stay awake. Wah.
Didn't work in the end, so it was all for nothing.
I think that was the problem, possibly. I think you had too much takeaway bingo and it made you sleepy.
May have done. I've still got half of it for today as well. Yum yum.
Have it after the race, because we don't want you falling asleep again in the last hour and 20 minutes.
Crikey, is that what we've got left?
Believe so.
Yeah.
I think we're
1 hour and 18 minutes.
Oh, there you go.
Counting
Right,
Mr.
Mr. Pedantic.
Dave actually counting it down.
He's counting down the time until he can just push the button, end the broadcast, and just collapse.
Collapse dead in the bed. Just not even go to the bed. Just collapse on the spot.
Yeah, if I don't make it for ITC tomorrow, you know why.
Yeah, oh god, we've got to do it all again.
Yeah, and then I've got to do WSS on Wednesday as well.
Boo. Things we do for a hobby.
It's going to be interesting to see how many laps collectively the drivers for ITC have had for tomorrow. I know for a fact I've had none so far. I'm relying on my knowledge of Rockingham from PCC broadcasts and whatnot.
Yeah, I've done like maybe a dozen laps, but I don't even know what's set up, so yeah. I'll figure something out.
Default setups are the way to go.
That's my theory.
Matt Richards is coming in. He's going to swap to Tom Vandervoort.
Roger that. One last change for the end. Old splash and dash.
That's only so you can get 50% off in a brothel.
Wow. I have to remember that one.
Simon's back on form.
I have to ask for the splash and dash when I go in the next time.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I should have thought. Isn't it past the watershed in Australia now, Tom?
What time is it here?
Past 9 o'clock, isn't it?
It's 11 o'clock.
Yep, there we go. So we can be naughty because it's past the watershed in some part of the world.
It always is. It always is. Just a shout out actually to everyone on Twitter. I've had 128 at Satoramon mentions. Thank you very much.
127 of them are probably from me or TSA Racing.
Do you think we need to keep the little logo for the Super League broadcast as well?
I don't see why not. Makes sense.
I think it helps for people who, when you say Satoriman, they sort of go, how do you spell that?
Yeah.
Or you should give Simon free reign of the GPVWC account. I mean, what could possibly go wrong with that?
We'd get removed. Immediately.
Add a bit of pink to the GPVWC Twitter account.
Nothing wrong with a bit of pink.
Put Meep the Snail on it.
Now you're just teasing. I did manage to get a screenshot of your Snapchat to me though, Cam.
Ooh.
Trying to think of when that was sent.
The reason why I've saved it is because of the caption that you've put in underneath, which says,
It's safe to broadcast.
yes,
Okay.
I'm knackered, only done 1 hour.
Ah.
That was a
Don't
bad thing
give
to
Simon
put a
access to the
24 hour.
GPVWC account. Because I sense that would probably end up going on there.
Might go on my Facebook. It might go on my Twitter actually, so everyone can see this
Oh
joyous.
dear. But now they all know how to spell your
panting
username, so they can all
face.
get access to it.
Aw.
Yeah. My reputation is ruined. or what little reputation I had.
Well, at least you're not Lewis Redshaw sending naked Snapchats around.
Oh dear, what have I started?
No turn back now.
It's quite funny reading on Facebook the reactions of everybody who's starting Le Mans. Actually, no, these are old because of the way Facebook works. I just read one from 5 hours ago from Lewis McGlade. Need another power nap. OMFG. Something else about Mike Bell. With a few expletives in it. Oh, and I just had the Formula 1 ruined for me.
There you go.
No,
Don't go on Facebook or Twitter if you actually want to not know the Formula 1 results. It's impossible.
Quick, disconnect the 24-hour server. It's on the internet. That's bad.
It's part of the internet, so we must leave it.
Actually, shout out to Mark Fuller. I can't remember whether I mentioned this yesterday when the broadcast started, but he successfully ruined Chuggy's day yesterday by posting the qualifying results for the Formula 1 in the qualifying chat. So, congratulations to Mark Fuller.
You did mention that, actually.
I can't remember. There's been many sleepless hours.
Oh, damn it, Cam.
About an hour's worth of sleep. Then.
It's all pretty quiet at the moment. Oh, hang on, we got Enterprise GP in. Eric Strahan coming in.
Alright,
No
swap
real change. Not sure. He's still doing stops, so we'll see when he goes. Makes his way out of pit lane. That's what we'll find out. I'll keep an eye on it.
Aren't they meant to be putting Rude back in the car?
Yeah, probably.
Is that the word on the
Oh, yeah, I
street?
think,
Well, that's what James
think
said
that
this
was.
morning, that Rude would be doing the
yeah.
final stint.
yeah, that's right.
Rude past to bake, not he's to beak.
Depending on how they use the fuel, how good they are with their tyres, Pros could be cutting it quite fine with the end of the race. I think by my count, I think I was managing to get sort of an hour and almost 15 out of the car.
It does leave questions for, who was it? It was Simcraft, that's right. Tom Vandervoort, they pitted about 5 minutes ago, so they might be touch and go in the end.
Considering the gap that Enterprise have back to the first of the Drake VBM cars, they could probably afford to run out of fuel on the last lap and just coast.
And Strahan's actually stayed in, so yeah, he's not going in, so he stays at the wheel. So I guess the wheel on the street was wrong. They must have made some adjustments.
James feeding us misinformation.
James has gone to Wales and the whole team is just doing what they want now.
Yeah, they've just gone, oh, I'll just take that last stint, yeah, no worries.
However, hasn't it been a running theme that whenever teams have come in, they've all gone, we made a spreadsheet, but we're not sticking to it.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, our one. Yeah, we didn't really stick to that very well.
Right. We now have copy of sheet 1, which isn't even exact.
So we copied the first one, and that isn't even right, so...
There are empty spaces and everything. Chuggy's doing a double stint at the end when he was supposed to start about 10 minutes ago, and he's been in the car longer than that, obviously. I did a triple stint somewhere. No, I didn't filter over early, which that's what messed things up. No, it's all gone to pot, really.
Not as planned.
What's next on the agenda for TSA? Because you've kind of you're spreading your wings out quite nicely around various of the different championships. What else would you like to attack and try?
I don't know really. I've got a few things planned for next year, depending on how things go and where we get accepted. Definitely be doing ITC in the next season. So based off my performances in WSS, depending on when the next ITC season is, may or may not start in ITC. Because since doing WSS and driving a few of the cars United Racing Designs premium team mod. I've sort of realised my love for GT cars and GT racing, so something that interests me more. And depending on who wants to do WSS with me, I may end up trying to enter TSA into WSS next year. So sorry, Josh. I definitely enjoy the endurance racing. Well, I think to make endurance racing something that we would do on a consistent basis, I don't think we've quite got the energy for that yet.
Yeah, it's very tiring, it's for sure.
Couldn't do 12 hours week in, week out.
Nah, not really.
No.
We're not
a bit
made
much.
of the same stuff as Dave.
Dave is just made of pizza.
Filled the brim, all different flavours as well.
All the
Variety.
slices. Stuffed crust. Maybe some juicy jalapeno sides.
Yeah, I reckon.
Cream cheese filled jalapeno bops. Yum yum yum.
Yeah, you're making me hungry.
Go and order, go and order.
Is the plan
I think
all?
Will should go and order for all of us.
Sounds good.
I'm not going to argue with that.
Not you.
Oh, I helped do cameras at the start of the race.
Do you want a medal?
Please, do they do these things? Save it for GPVWC day. It's fine.
Which we need to find out when that's going to be soon. Hopefully there'll be news on that coming shortly. Just need to try and get Will to sort it out.
Quick, Mr. Panisi, I need to know whether I need to order a passport or not.
I need to know whether I can actually go and book days off leave for it.
I shall give him a little nudge later after he's finished with his Force India duties. See if we can
PwC
start
is
to get that sorted
far
out.
more important than Force India. Is that a bannable offence, me saying that?
I don't know, maybe with Force India. Probably seen, I'm sure they've got people watching it. I'm sure they've got people watching the broadcast for this kind of thing. Just waiting for people to say it.
I think they should get Echo and Nico to do some racing in Super League.
That'd be good.
Pretty interesting.
Good branding. Yeah, as well. I mean, good luck trying to convince them, but sure.
And then as a prize, whichever team beats Force India's drivers in Super League, you put the Super League team in Formula 1 next season. Then Force India have to be in Super League.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
As long as it's not CSG.
I'm still okay with this.
I think it's a good idea. I think you should pitch that to Will as well. Sort of slip it in there when you talk about GPVWC Day. One of you have said it's a bad idea.
Of course not. I tell you what we should do as a prize for GPVWC Day. Just a little tour around in a Force India. Just like a prize for turning up. Would be great. Oh, Matt Jacobs, actually, that's a good point, Matt. Cam, you're the guest. You should have bought food for them. Yes?
Yeah, Cam.
Jeez, Cam.
You'll have blue names apart from Mr. Hins, therefore Mr. Hins buy food.
I don't know.
That one stick? No.
Help me bring it all the way from Australia. It's going to take a while.
Well, David
Thing is-
Yunt's in the THR.
Seeing as though
Keep
Matt Jacobs was so enthusiastic about snacks and things, maybe he should buy them.
Maybe. That could work. See if they do a drive change at THR.
Is Toby finally getting it back in the car?
I bet Toby would like to be back in the car to bring it home, actually.
When was Toby last in the car?
It was late last night, I think.
Yeah.
Be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed then. Probably.
Like a beaver.
Interesting to note, I've noticed Bell here seems to be struggling a little bit in pace. He got passed by the Waters car, and now he's getting the Mazurik all over the back of him. No, sorry, yes, the Mazurik, that's right. He's just got passed by him, so what's going on here?
I imagine
406 last time.
I imagine they're just in cruise mode at this point.
Oh yeah, probably, yeah.
We've
Bring
only
it
got,
home in the last hour.
what, 58 minutes to go?
Yeah, probably just bring it home. Teach the sprint races where it's always full pedal to the metal the whole way. It's endurance, remember that. Yeah, he's just cruising at home. I suspect that might be what pretty much everyone's going to be doing now, just bring it home. No one's really close enough to mount a challenge to anyone, so... Safety mode, I guess.
I feel I've done something wrong by not finishing the 24 hours for my team. After looking at what Bell's doing and what possibly Toby might be doing.
Let's find out.
Just go and demand that they hand it over on the last lap.
Yeah, then watch as the pit stop goes wrong, I get disconnected, then everybody overtakes us.
Looks like John stay in the car, so... There you go, Toby not going to be doing the final stint by the looks of it.
Be to the end, that will be.
There you go, so John will finish off by the looks of it, unless they, for some reason, want to do a splash and dash when they don't need to.
I was just going to unplug my wheel and actually serve as a spectator to get a better view of the racing, but then I thought, what if Chuggy needs help? It'll be me that has to do a Mark Webber and run to the back of the garage and get my suit on.
Charge out there in the pit lane and jump in the car. Also, Roy Schroden in for the number 1 drag car.
Do Schroden seem to be finishing?
Looks like, yeah, he's been going for a long time. In fact, a lot of the guys now have been going for quite a long time. Quinton Plain for Cosmo has been going for a long time, I've noticed. Rusus as well. Sorry, I can never say that right, but...
Just say Dan.
Say Dan, yeah, Dan. Why am I saying, yeah, why am I doing the hard way? That's just been my Aussie ways. We take the hard route. Dan, he's been out there for a while. Dan out there, he's still going. Mark Fuller's been out there for a while, I've noticed. Obviously, Chuggy there, the TSA's been out there for a long time. I think Ollie as well for FA's been going for quite some time. So a lot of long stints to finish the race.
I hope Chuggy does manage it, because he turned to me, had a bit of back pain. Woke up this morning with a bit of back pain, so he was unsure as to whether he'd be able to do the extra little stint that he's got to do.
Sorry about that, I didn't know that he'd know what I was up to.
Schroden setting up exiting pit lane now. Doesn't look like he's changing. Yep, looks like he's staying, and again, keeping that front splitter off, so not going to bother taking extra time to repair the damage.
Yeah, I think at the moment, I think the TSA car's got a little bit of damage to the rear. Jacobs just reported it.
And Dan, yep, Dan is gone again at the...
Another time you picked him out.
Yeah, I don't mean to. I was looking at Chuggy and I saw it in the background, and I'm sorry, Dan. Honestly, if you're just later on, I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick on you. I happen to look and you go off. I'm sorry. I really don't want to pick on you.
Next race that Dan Russo is in, if Mr. Hins isn't doing commentary, Dan Russo won't spin.
Yeah, I bet you. Yeah. It must be my curse. I must have cursed him somehow. It's me being here, commentating.
Try and join the server and see what's going on.
What is up in the land of 24-hour racing?
It's brilliant to see that the cars are still going around, especially Dimitris in that Deltec. I remember hearing you guys talking about it earlier. It's demoralising when that many laps down, but I mean, I guess if you got the right people around you, it doesn't seem to affect you because you can just have a good time.
Exactly. If you have fun, it doesn't really matter where you end up finishing. Just racing is all you require. So it's good to see. It's good to see that they can just really enjoy the racing and not worry about positions. It's a good trait, I think, to have.
I've been trying to enjoy it and sort of having a bit of chit chat as I go around, but I keep getting told off and told to concentrate on the road ahead. Blah blah blah.
Oh, so serious.
That's a good question, actually. When you guys are racing, do you prefer to have somebody talking to you in sort of a race engineer sense or serious? Do you prefer to have somebody talking to you in a friendly manner, or do you prefer to just be left to your own devices and just only be spoken to when you ask for it?
Well, I'd probably say a friendly manner, I reckon. A friendly way. Possibly sort of half serious as well, and sort of half engineer matter would be good. Just so that way I don't get distracted.
I think I've changed over time. I always used to race completely alone, and I would not have any interaction whilst I was racing at all, because I'd find that to be the best way to focus on what I was doing. However, as I don't run plugins with my R Factor at all, I found it increasingly better and easier to deal with like rain and things like that by having other people around me, say, because I can catch them going, oh, it's at 6%, oh, it's at 7%, blah blah blah, whereas I'm just like, it's wet or dry. And I found it more interesting over time to hear what else is going on around the track from other drivers reacting, but not necessarily race engineering.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, with, like, for example, when we did Daytona, when we were all racing as part of TSA, we had sort of a friendly group chat, nothing too serious, but we still did sort of the important things like calling out incidents and corner numbers, so that we knew to slow down. Matt Jacobs has just tweeted me, and he has said, if I'm in the car, shut the hell up unless it's vital to the car finishing.
Well, there you go.
I hope his brother is a bit more understanding than that, instead of wishing for me to shut the hell up.
Also a change in the number 2 drag. St. Marius has got in the car. Ollie's still going in FA after his pit stop, and Mike Bell is also pitted for the leaders in Smile Power Racing.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did say he was going to finish the race, so I assume he'll stay in the car. Also
Yes.
Cosmo in as well. Joshua Anderson.
Yeah, Mike Bell just poked me actually and just said, last stop, now it's time for the win.
I just noticed, I think Mark Fuller there going around at the final chicane.
Isn't he
Look,
tempting fate by saying things like that?
Yep.
Oh, Mike.
So Fuller there just going around for Woods Racing there, just too much curb there on the last chicane. Number of times that's happened already this race, so it's not alone in that aspect.
I'll look through to see. Only 2 cars on the same lap of the TSA and the Mazurek.
Also John there, just around there, looks like at the, where's that at? I think it's the hairpin, is it? Hang on. Let's check the replay here. No, that's actually Indianapolis, yeah. The second Indianapolis there, he's gone round on the exit. Yep, just too much power, around she goes. No contact with the wall though, so nothing too serious.
Yeah, the second Indianapolis, I thought maybe you were going to say that he clipped the curb, because I've clonked that curb a few times in my stints, and it does chuck the car up quite a bit.
Yeah, so I noticed that when I did. I just learnt to stay clear if I can help it. It's in more harm than good. Interesting again, it looks like, for Thick.
With being a racing driver is though that you know that curbs are damaging and they risk spinning you around or spitting you off the track, but just like chocolate. You know it's bad for you, but you just want to keep having some of it. Like you look at Jump Through there, bouncing all over the curbs. Final chicane.
That is true. Very, very true. Yeah, I mean, I know I like bashing the curbs a bit, so I know it's bad, but you know, you just can't help it. You see this big curb, it's like, well, can't help it, gotta smash it.
Learned your lesson the hard way though at Silverstone, didn't you? In
yeah,
WSS.
Yeah. Yep, that was awkward. I mean, I looked at the replay that from the server, and on the server it just looked like my car was having a dance, but trust me, on my screen I did roll, so yeah. That's why you don't hit the anti-cuts, ladies and gentlemen. Bad things.
Gap between Mazurek. 2 minute 2 gap between those two. So,
The closest thing at the moment, isn't it, really? Yeah.
closest in terms of sort of position, physical position in the standings. Whether there are any people up, sort of spread out.
Yeah, it's all pretty quiet at the moment. All the battles have sort of subsided. I think everyone's sort of going to be in safety mode at the moment, just get to the end, so I don't think we'll see anything too drastic here. Last thing I want to do is get 23.5 hours for a race, 24 hours, and then bin it then.
Now watch this for a last minute bit of fun. Simcraft put Harley in the car and he goes Banzai.
It was a possibility to put Harley back in instead of Van der Voort, but they just didn't want to risk the driver swap that late into the race.
Yeah. The inevitable DC as well.
Harley's been on fire.
Yeah, that pace. Needed that 1.403 and I was shocked. I was like, what? It wasn't a sub 4, what is this? Yeah, all very quiet at the moment. They just sort of trundle around trying to get to the end. I think most of the cars now should be good to go to the end. Might be one or two left to pit as Junk goes around again at the hairpin at the end of the straight. Looks at this time around. Just so happened to click to him.
Hard considering there's only 50 minutes left.
There's 2 spins now in what, 2-3 laps? So yeah, maybe you just want to calm down a bit there, David. Just so happened to catch him as he was spinning again. Just happened to switch the right time.
Maybe THR after trying to get into the top 3 possibly for fastest times.
Oh yeah, yep.
For a bit of pride or something.
Yeah, I could do. I mean,
because I'll be honest, I expect them to be top 3 with their times, but.
Also, Mark Fuller in for Woods. What we'll assume will be their last stop. Also, just noticed Ollie in the FA car there. That front right or front left to the car not looking particularly great. Pretty smashed in there. Looks a bit of an ugly looking Porsche there.
I think most of the cars have front end damage similar. Well, quite a few throughout the race. Roy Schroeten's driving around without anything on the front of his car.
He's been doing that actually for the last hour or so. Just hasn't bothered to repair it, so credit to him.
So is Josh. Seems to be the in thing to do these days, isn't it? Drive without a front bumper.
Yeah, I guess it's in the fashion, I guess. Must be what the old cool kids do, I guess.
Lights doing it. I know that they do it in some of the drift championships in Europe. For some reason, I think it's to do with cooling. Doing drifting, they take the front bumpers off, and they've actually now sort of started to say, no, keep your bumpers on because the cars look better that way.
No, I have seen that. Yeah. Let's see if Fuller's going to stay in the car. I'd presume so. Well, unless Ollie wants to jump in. No, it looks like Fuller's going to finish. Right. And what was left
Williams
anyway?
has just gone across the gravel at the first chicane on the Mulsanne straight. Possibly just a slight lapse of concentration towards the end here. No contact with anything. A little bit of gravel in the radiator.
Never does too much harm. Got about, should have anyway, about, let's have a look here, do maths real quick. Should have about nearly 40 minutes-ish, I'd say. It's under 40 minutes to go. This one?
47.
47, right. Thank you very much, Dave.
I was waiting for Dave to come in.
I figured. I was sitting here thinking I'm probably going to look at the wrong
Anderson
times.
is round at the hairpin at the end of the Mulsanne straight. You do that. I just went in too deep and then spun it on the gravel.
There you go.
Lucky there, Mr. Anderson.
Oh.
I get in trouble if I said I think I preferred the white, green and pink Cosmo.
I don't think you would.
I think Simon might have something. Yeah, Simon would have something to say about it.
Bad times, Miku rocks. I thought you played a Miku song.
Well, no, you decided to go for a sleep, didn't you?
Yeah, I know.
I don't think you're ever going to live this one down, Simon.
Oh well. At least I'm alive and awake.
Just. What is that? Demetrius. I get a glimpse of who that was in front of him on track. Dunt.
Yep. Hopefully we can keep on the track now for us to race. I think I got 4 ahead of him, yeah. Just keep it on the straight and narrow, that's what I say. No point to risk everything now.
Really interesting design on the side of that Deltec car. I'm assuming it's like fire and ice dragons or something.
Does look good though, I do. Like, to be honest, all the cars really look quite good. There's not really a bad one there for me.
Yeah, it's one thing I noticed about the WSS series. The whole grid is different colours and each one of them looks brilliant.
Something I don't like about the current generation of cars in top tier is that it seems to be silver or white or blue or red. There doesn't seem to be. I miss thinking Formula One, Jordan's yellows and like a Simtech purple or something like that, because it gets you a nice brand identity, even a Jaguar green, and it just breaks up the colours, doesn't it?
I don't know. The problem these days is, I guess, like you've got McLaren who are sort of trying to keep a little bit of Mercedes there with the silver/chrome. I think it'd be interesting to see what McLaren do next year with their tie-up with Honda. Like,
I reckon they'll go white and red.
White and red returning would look pretty sweet. Also, when I think it was start of the 2013 season, possibly, and when there were all these rumours going around of there's an energy drinks company and they're doing a deal with the top Formula One team, blah blah blah. I was hoping that it was going to be Mercedes doing a bigger deal with Monster. I would quite like to see a bigger Monster claw on that Mercedes AMG car. That's just me. They announced it was Burn and Lotus, and I thought, who?
So, 340 laps for leaders here. Well, 45 to go, so 45 minutes, sorry, roughly to go. So, a lot of laps, that is 340 laps, a long time.
Deltec now 51 laps behind.
Yep.
I think
Still
they've beaten.
coming on.
I think they've beaten Phil Morby's record from the previous Masters race at Daytona. How many laps behind was Phil?
It works out for Deltec that they're 3 hours and 20 minutes behind the leaders.
Wow. Massive respect for them for continuing.
Shows how much they must enjoy driving around the Le Mans circuit, so it's good to see.
The only thing that's disappointed me about driving around this track is that I can remember in the old days of the official Le Mans games on PlayStation 1, they used to do fireworks and things. As it went to night time. I think they do.
Not anymore.
They do the same with the Nordschleifer on Gran Turismo.
Yeah,
as anything, but it's still pretty.
It's true. I know for no wait, they do. Yeah, no, I think they do. Yeah. For GT around here, Le Mans, I think it was 5. When it was night time, you'd have fireworks off in the distance and like the Ferris wheels and so on.
I know that on the Nordschleifer you can also see the campfires. People who are camping out around the track.
It's because there's a lot of attention to detail. It's good to see.
You don't pay any attention to the sounds on Gran Turismo, but look, there's campfires.
Don't worry about the sounds. We'll just give you fires and all this other stuff that isn't related to racing, if you don't mind.
Actually, I noticed earlier that Tom Jacobs was talking about his Codemasters work. I hope they've nailed the sounds of these Formula 1 cars.
We'll see, I guess, won't we?
Because stand by the fact that I think the cars sound great, they're just a little bit quiet. Of course, the Formula 1 game, it doesn't matter, you just turn the slider up for engine noise all the way to the top.
Top us off.
Josh Anderson running a bit wide in the Porsche S's, I believe. Come towards the end of the last sector.
Yep.
Oh, and
Trundling on.
is round again at the hairpin.
Is he? He
At
is.
the
Yeah.
end of the Mulsanne Straight.
Once again, he's got to. He really does have to just settle it down. I think if I were him, just settle it down. I
more power
even
over?
if you go slow. Even if you go slow, I mean, you're not going to make any positions at this point. You're not going to lose any positions unless you have a massive
Oh,
accident.
actually,
the more hard you push, the more
Junt
likely.
clouted the wall. So
Hey, ah.
he may have front splitter damage as well.
Ooh, this could get interesting then. The car doesn't look too bad, doesn't look undrivable anyway, so it appears to be keeping up the pace, so it mustn't be too bad. I'd say he'll continue, but we'll find out.
Another lap or two to see what sort of times he puts in.
Oof, Josh running close to the wall there.
It's bad of me that I'm not sure whether... Oh, hello. Just as I look at my screen to try and figure out how many stops Matthew Williams has done, comes across
Anderson,
a stray Cosmo at the start of Mulsanne. Oh my word, how did he not hit Josh there?
Yeah, look. It's on the
think he
replay.
hit him.
Oh wow, yeah, that is a big crash, yeah. Straight in the walls there on the exit.
That a splitter that I saw come off, or was that just...
I think it was just a bit of the windscreen or something, and oh! God, credit to Chuggy there to stay out of the way. That is very good evasive action.
Question is, has he got a puncture or anything?
Yeah.
And the way he came out of the chicane, I don't think he has.
No, I think if anything, it may have a bit of suspension damage, but I'd say to be about it.
Keep it on his times as well, see what he does. Last time round it's a 4 minute 0.4.
Yeah, I'd
Then
say
used to
not
lap like that. If he continues to do 4 minute zeros with that damage, then he's the
Quick to
fastest Porsche driver for Le Mans. Get him in WSS next season. You heard it here first.
Yeah, Josh, they're still going. I don't know how he didn't lose a wheel or something. That was a big impact. But there you go. I guess these cars are tougher than they look.
Some ways more than others. I know that Phil Morby brushed the wall earlier when he started his stint this morning. Yeah, puncture. Straight off. Was out of the first Indianapolis. Tveit is right on the back of Junt now. Going on to the Mulsanne Straight.
Yeah.
Tveit's last time. 3:56.8.
He's absolutely flying, especially considering no splitter. That's quite impressive. And yeah, Junt just letting him go smart there. That's good to see. Some smart play there. Not going to bother battling him here at the end of the race.
I think it may have been Tveit, or it might have been Strahan, I can't remember. That was Tveit. Tveit, I think, was chasing me when I was in my last stint. And even though he's a position behind the TSA car, because he's 2 laps down, or something like that, there's no point in getting in the way and risking getting involved in an accident.
Yeah, better just to be safe and let him go and let him do his own merry thing, as it were. Not really much
To be honest,
happening
I
not for there on the back of Demetrius, but
Quite a few people have sort of on their endurance heads, which is nice to see.
It's good to see in this last sort of phase of the race. I think, especially in this last phase, you really need to resist the urge to go berserk. When at the end of the race, you want to make a big glory statement with a big fast lap. I think it's good to see
Once
that being
you
switched
cross
on.
the line, that's when you go berserk and you start doing donuts and everything.
Exactly. Wait till then, but until then, you just got to keep that endurance races hat on.
Expecting to see Mike Bell to do some donuts.
I would say
A
so.
smile
Yes.
on my face with his smile power car. Haha.
Indeed.
As long as he doesn't do them directly after the finish line.
In a safe and convenient place.
Exactly.
Saying that, there's not much runoff to do them at Le Mans.
Up by the Dunlop Bridge, I guess. Chicane there.
Actually, there's a fair bit of runoff at the start of the Mulsanne Straight. Up there,
yeah,
tucked
that's the
away.
spot. That's your place to do it. It does look like Chuggy's just going on, but looks of it doesn't look like he's too affected, so whatever it is obviously is pretty minor. It's good to see.
Sure, if it was major, I'd have probably been phoned or shouted at or something by now.
Yeah, I reckon.
Help us,
Yeah, it's
Bowser!
good too. Good stuff. Quite a lot of very beaten up Porsches currently
Actually,
at the track at the moment.
This. I hadn't really noticed this, but Matthew Williams is now 5.3 off the back of the FA. Now they are racing position. FA is 6th, TSA is 7th, but they're not on the same lap, unfortunately.
It's a shame. Could have been a nice little battle there to finish the day.
I think we worked it out that had there been no disconnect and Chuggy had kept lapping at the same time at the speed he was, I think he was gaining sort of 10 to 13 seconds a lap on Pelkonen. So, looking close to see where we finished and how we finished.
I guess there's not much you can do about disconnects. They don't really pick favourably. Go as they wish, so to speak. Pace is still pretty high.
It's going to be somewhat a splash and dash, and expect to see some somewhat quick times. I pray to God that he keeps it on the track.
Which one? Oh, yep, there's Anderson off again. Down at the second chicane down Mulsanne.
Keep going, Joshy boy.
They keep pulling through. You only got, what, another just over half an hour to go. I believe it is, so...
Looking at the gap between the TSA and the FA, I think that's been sort of the story of our Le Mans, really. Coming up, getting close to a pit stop, catching up to the car in front, getting right on their bumper, and then thinking, oh, we got to pit. And being put all the way back again.
Yeah, very true, that's for sure. He's on the back of him, might be... Oh,
there's a mistake from Pelkonen.
Yep, gives him the opportunity, he's going to get the run here, and that'll... Easy move there, that's just a... Thank you very much there.
It was interesting, I heard earlier that apparently some teams possibly might not be running rear wing 1.
Yeah, I heard a couple of people talking about it. I was like, that's interesting. I was thinking that it was just general rule that everyone runs one wing because of the long straights, but I guess it depends on the driving style, doesn't it?
My understanding as well. Unless, I mean, I know that when I was told run rear wing 1 in these Porsches by an unnamed source, shall we say. It took me quite a while to get used to the back end stepping out, but just sort of, if you're careful with the throttle and you can tweak the suspension a little bit to compensate for it, and then in a straight line, as saying this, Matthew Williams does indeed pit for the last time.
Yep, little splash and dash to get to the end. And I would have thought, sorry to intervene, but I would have thought, who was it? I think it was Simcraft. They pitted about an hour 20 to go, so I would assume they'll be doing a splash and dash too, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Yep. Well, it looks things. Matthew Williams is going for just tyres and a little bit of fuel. No repairs to his bodywork, because he's still got a pretty hefty dent on the front left of that Porsche.
That
ruined
whack,
my livery.
Damn it, scratching the paint.
That'll come out of his wages, don't worry.
Yeah. It's compensation for damages.
I think I've managed to avoid scraping our car. A little dirty. I think I put it on the grass a few times, but I don't think I've hit the barriers.
I wish I could say the same, but fortunately not. Let's just have a look here. Who am I looking for? THR. Okay. It's THR and Zurich. Pretty close together. That's not for position, of course.
Now leaves the pits.
Yep. THR in fourth. Zurich.
I think he's just been disconnected again. In that case, I'm just going to head out, guys.
Yep.
Dum dum dum.
So more drama for us boys in TSA. It's really sad to hear. Obviously, Chuggy having some connection issues, which is not good. All in the last 2 hours. It's always a terrible timing when it happens now, but we do have a lot of time back to Waters racing, so automotive, sorry. So have a bit of a buffer, hopefully. There's Josh Anderson in again for Cosmo. So it's about 32 minutes left, right, Dave?
Yeah, just under.
Cool. Make sure I get it right. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, no. Measure now taken back to SA there for 7th place, according to the timesheets. It's a shame there. It was good to get back up to 7th and being in 8th for a long time. But it was like karma really for Measure obviously DCing that got us up a position now. Opposites happened. But we do have 9 laps back to Waters, so we've got some time there. Let's get back in relatively sharpish. We should be right. Williams apparently still in the garage, so just waiting for that penalty to be served.
Apologies for running away there, guys.
That's
Hey, what's the news?
8 minutes 58 seconds. That's the news.
Well,
Just as he left the pits, for some reason, disconnected him. So that's 2 disconnects, pretty much within the space of an hour. And if you think he did a pretty hefty stint yesterday, and one later in the evening, nothing wrong whatsoever. So, no idea what's going on.
I'm pretty confused. I'm just wondering because I know you guys all have good, much better connections than I do. So it's weird that it's just randomly not even switching, just on its own merit.
I was running a bit of a risk because I ran wireless the whole race. But okay, he's wired, stupidly fast internet. Out properly.
Yeah, something going on there. McGlade has messaged me a while ago. Actually messaged me. What was that? That was about half an hour ago. Sorry, Lewis. I didn't actually see the message till just now. Saying about Mike. He's just really tired, just trying to stay out of trouble, which is why his pace is a little less. 30 hours away from he's struggling, which I can understand being 30 hours. Just bring the car home, I guess, which is the right mindset at this point for them. Thanks for the information there, Lewis.
Any teams have posted anything on there?
We're still doing pretty decent laps. I mean, last lap was a 4-minute 0.9, so still not lightning fast, but still quick. So it's not taking off too much. Always comfortable, I guess, for him.
Well, I'm not going to mention anything to do with the actual F1 race that's gone on. However, there was a rather bizarre graphic that appeared to be super overlaid on the track, which
That on turn 1?
Yeah, which thanks Dietrich Mateschitz. It says, "Congratulations, Mr. Mateschitz. Thank you, Bernie." And then everyone's arguing over exactly who it's coming from and to and why. That would be an interesting one to run and run. I don't like these CGI banners.
Well, I saw it the other week.
glitch.
Yeah, I saw it the other week where the Lotus was driving around and I think it had one of the sponsors' logos plastered all over the side pod of Maldonado's car or something because the light reflecting off the bodywork was the same colour as the colour they use on the gravel traps. I don't get what was wrong with them just painting the ground.
Yeah.
Surely...
Oh, Mark Fuller's parked up.
Oh. That fuel, possibly? Look.
Oh,
Yeah, he's just literally
rocket.
pulled over to the side of the road down the start-finish straight. It's really weird. He's got
Yeah.
going again now. I wonder if something's gone wrong.
Let's have a look. Yeah, just it went right into the wall. Actually, he went
Yeah.
hard right into the wall. So maybe the wheel.
Possibly his game minimised.
Yeah, may have done what it did to me during my stint a couple of times. Either minimised or it's either that or his wheel may have had a problem. It just seems strange to pull to the right like that. Sorry, left. Yeah, but those are the
Mark's
minimised.
game minimised. Yeah.
Yep.
Called it.
There you go. So I'm not the only one, at least.
I guess by the way that he jammed down the gears and braked. I know that happened to me at Adelaide for the ITC. I just panicked, slammed on the brakes, and hoped that nobody clattered into me. And it was through the fast right-hander at Adelaide.
Oof.
So yeah, not the greatest of places for it to happen.
True that indeed.
Schroeten's catching. Actually, is Schroeten faster than Nikolai?
Nicola.
Schroeten quicker than Marius? Yeah. He is. Look, 403.2 the last lap, and maybe not. Marius just did a 358.8 that last lap.
So that must have been the other way around. He must have just got past Roy.
Be rapid. And again,
He has
Roy
been,
is
yeah.
missing his splitter.
You know, it has been showing. I've been noticing Marius's pace when he's been in the car. It's been very, very impressive for the second raid car. Up there amongst the leaders in terms of pace. So that's good news for him.
Wonder why possibly it wasn't put in the number 1 car for Drake VBN, as Tveit spins it out of the second Indianapolis and just keeps his foot in it, gives it a bit of jandle. Yes, Dave, I just squeezed that word in, I'm sorry. Spins it back round, and he's on his way again. Hopes that nobody saw it. Sorry, Eric, I saw it. Bell going down the Mulsanne straight to the first chicane. It's Mariano Lonesome.
Yep.
Out and down the minutes until he can celebrate.
Indeed. And quite for everyone else, very spread apart. Not really any battles to speak of, not in terms of direct positions. They run very much in bring the car home safely mode. At least you would hope they would be. A bit late in the race to be thinking about being very aggressive. So looks like we've got about just under 25 minutes to go. And this one's nearly done. It's what? It's only just over maybe 5 or 6 laps to go. So
That's the time, everyone, where I want everyone to start going for fastest lap.
Really go and jump in the TSA car? I would crash. If I tried that, I would definitely crash.
Yeah, last lap, everyone just opens up completely. Goes fast.
Massive. Do you see all the cars? Oh, Anderson is round out of the second Indianapolis, and he's ended up in the wall.
Ooh.
Are you going to wait for Marius and Roy Schroeten? I think he is. Play there from Josh.
Yeah, smart play. Don't do anything risky. Just wait and turn around. How that car, by the way, is still going, I don't know. After the amount of crashes it's had. That one at the entrance to Mulsanne, that was a big crash. I don't know how he didn't lose a wheel there, or at least get a puncture, but...
Haven't you seen the rear bumper of the WSS car and how it says powered by chaos? It's the chaos inside that keeps it going.
Must be, yeah. It's got that chaos entity which keeps it out of trouble, I guess. Guards
Not as good as your bumper, Cam.
Not as good as my bumper, Dave, no.
What's on your bumper?
There's a little quote on our Le Mans car.
Don't take me
Simon
out,
will
Jaxie.
agree with this quote.
And Simon, you would agree with it. I showed somebody our livery when it was in the works, and they just said to me, needs more pink. So if you look carefully at the rear bumper of our car, you'll see what it says.
I run on low graphics.
Oh, in that case, I might as well read it for you then. On the back, it says, needs more pink, B. Car Smith.
I do agree with that statement completely.
And even then, it wasn't enough pink.
Williams back out again to hopefully finish off. Let's hope no more disconnects. Let's hope.
Jinxed it.
Oh, I
Nah,
dead Conte's cursed, didn't I? Oops, I shouldn't have said anything. No.
he's still visible at this moment in time, so touch wood, he'll be okay.
Yeah.
You are
Meanwhile-
relatively safe in your position, so that makes, I suppose.
Yeah, we've fallen down far enough that we've now got a massive bumper of laps if we do get disconnected.
Yeah, if we get...
Well, to be fair, I think sort of calm has evened itself out, if you think about it, because Majorek suffered the disconnect, which was very unfortunate for them, and we've now suffered 2, which just put us back behind them, so...
Yeah, obviously Calm was not happy with...
disconnects.
No. Sorry, son.
TSA Racing has some brilliant fans. Alex Southgate cheering us on the Facebook page.
Lovely. It's good to see you've got some fans cheering us on.
Why we've got so many fans is no idea, because we've never won a championship apart from Division 2 at GRC.
Must be the people. Must have links.
I guess they love us for our different approach to race commentaries and things.
Yeah, I guess so. I'll agree with that statement.
Actually, that's how you got into sim racing, isn't it, Tom?
Pretty
Through
much.
Tom? I
Yep.
got into sim racing through Tom.
Yeah.
Tom.
Tom, yep.
Tom, go.
Exactly.
Let's go into race this with Tom, and then my teammate for ITC is a Tom van der Voort up there in the Simcraft.
Can't get away from him.
No,
That's right,
I
he's
know.
just taking the fastest lap of the race.
Oh, there you go. Yep. Oh, Eric. Yep. Just taking it away there. He's
that
going
without a
fast,
front
the thing
splitter?
is, Yep. So it just shows who needs one. Apparently not him. Yeah, I think Van der Voort not going to be able to race in Rockingham, so won't be the Tom-Tom combo in Rockingham. Oh, it's Josh's little moment there in Indianapolis. Speak of Cosmo. He's kept it going, though.
Marius is quickly approaching the back of Fuller's Woods racing car. They go through the Porsches. One of the worst places possible to catch a car.
There's Fuller there, you'll hopefully get out of the way.
Bad enough trying to keep the car between the white lines when you're on your own, let alone when you've got downforce being taken away and a rear end blocking your view.
Very true, very true.
Marius is right up behind him now. Oh, he was so
Just
close to
saved that.
stacking it in the wall there.
That was. A lot of them I've noticed have been very close, but that's probably the closest I've seen all race. That's really, really lucky there. Good job to pull that up. Could have very easily been a big amount of damage there.
Are there quite a lot of places, would you say, around Le Mans where you can only go single file?
Yeah.
I'm not very good at answering this question, am I, Simon? Because I said that about the hairpin and I was proven wrong. So I'll let Mr. Hinz handle this.
Alright. In all honesty, I don't think. There's a good amount. There's a good amount. Like, as you can see, he's going to take him down here. Nice and easy. But, I mean, you've got all the straights. All the straights you can take him.
Ooh, my word.
Very close again.
Rallycross in a Beetle?
Yep. Obviously, when you get those fast laps here at the end. But, yeah, no, I mean, the straights is obviously places to go side by side. But through the corners, yeah, it can be a bit dodgy to go side by side. Even the chicanes down Mulsanne here, it can be a bit dodgy to try and go side by side. So yeah, I would say it's a bit difficult through a lot of the corners to go side by side through them. So be careful with that.
I think you're probably better off letting people make that lunge and ruining their exit, and then just getting the run on them down the next straight, because being Le Mans, aside from our sector, there's always straight after the corner. There's always a sizable straight for a bit of slipstreaming after the corner.
That's very true.
sometimes if you sort of let somebody think that they can outbrake you up the inside, they sort of get a bit greedy. Perhaps might miss their braking point by 10 or 20 metres, and that might result in them going completely wide of the apex and taking it back. Doing the odd switcheroo, as you say, Simon.
So it looks like we should have about, what's that, 15, 17 minutes-ish to go. Nearly there. So probably another, what's that, 3 laps, maybe 4 tops, and then that shall be the flag.
Think of it. Matthew Williams isn't showing up as having a lap time. Previous lap time.
Yeah.
You're going off somewhere.
He'll be on his second lap round from his rejoining, surely, wouldn't he? So he puts him back at 0 again.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye.
So after the penalty plus the 8 minutes to do 2 laps.
Well spotted, Simon. This is why you're a lead commentator. And I'm just some pillock who decides to join at the end of a race.
Aww, we love you, Cam.
Call me Cam and not Bowser.
We love you, Bowser.
Better. You feel warm and fuzzy.
It's been great to have you, Tom, in as well, actually.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I've just help out, so... No. No, I didn't mean that. It was just a natural surprise noise, as it were.
It makes Simon cry.
I'm sorry, Simon.
Stop up it.
Actually, seriously though, in all seriousness, it has been very good fun. Thanks for having me on. It's been an absolute joy.
Thanks for stepping in whilst I feel absolutely terrible and
Williams
sleep.
Going up the end. Yep, Williams is up. Oh, and Junt tried to turn in.
Oh, I get away with it. Flash the headlights there from Jump.
I don't quite understand why there was flashing of headlights there.
Do you ever bother flashing your headlights in disgust?
Not in disgust. I like doing the racing in the darkness. I was giving it 1 or 2 flashes to let people know I was approaching, then a couple of flashes to say thank you. But I don't think I ever flashed them in disgust. With that move there into the chicane, Williams was 3 seconds quicker that lap, and had the move pretty much done into the apex. I think Junt possibly expected Williams to maybe back out and not be there.
That'd be my guess. Deltec in as well, by the way. Demetrius in for a splash and dash to get the end.
Couple of drops of fuel.
Yep, literally.
Now Williams has already opened up quite a sizable gap to Junt in a few corners.
Yep, indeed he has. It's a good couple of seconds right there already. Walters still holding the fastest lap by a couple of tenths, so unless Tom Van Der Waal can pull a lap out of his backside, looks like Walters might take the fastest lap at this rate. I guess that's a nice little something to claim. It's been impressive though, Eric. I'll give him that. His pace has been very, very good. But that minus the front splitter, mind you.
Not seeing what Mike Bell's up to. Still going round.
Enjoying the moment, I'm sure.
Every apex. Minding his own business.
Yep, very clean car, I'll give it that. It looks, I mean, barely a scratch on it, so... At least that's the thing, isn't it? Just stay out of trouble. They've just kept the head clean and been at the front. Had a really nice race, really.
Me and Bell haven't been racing each other. We like to give each other a little rub now and then when we're racing in WSS. I think actually Matthew Allington, me and him, when we raced at Bain in WSS, I ended up with most of the Enterprise livery on my car.
Ooh. Yeah.
It was good fun though. It was a good scrap, and you sort of get those scraps where, yes, there is rubbing and there's the odd bump, but you have fun doing it, and you know that the person in the other car is sort of doing it in a way that's not trying to force you off the road. It's just trying to do a good fight sort of thing.
So it's Josh again going off an entrance to Mulsanne again, not as bad as last time. I really don't know how that doesn't have a punch from the front like that. Look at the front end of that thing has been made a good few inches short of that car.
What is it? Gonna have done. New front splitter, fresh rubber, tiny bit of fuel to give him the chance of going even quicker than a 55.2.
Why not? Well, if that space he's doing without a front splitter, it knows not bother. Surely he just works without the splitter.
That's like me. I ended up going stupidly quick at the end of my stints with worn tyres. Okay, I had no fuel, but I still... Tyres wearing out gave me a better balance.
It's very interesting how that works. Fresh tyres doesn't necessarily mean fastest pace.
When Dwight leaves the pits to see if the game syncs up and he does indeed have a front bumper or not. Takes a bit of time to show.
Okay, showing back in at the moment. It's going control change. Oh, the change. Okay, orders in there. Orders in there to finish it off. It's a nice little move there.
That's a nice thing to do.
I really have not played this very well.
There's still time again.
Wait, Chucky, give me the car. And then we'll disconnect. They've sent Waters out with no front splitter. Fair enough. Here, boss. The car handles like a complete barge, but you know.
Well, not too bad if Eric's managing to do 55s with it. Must be something, right? That's nice to manage to.
Which will make it understeer more, which will make it harder to crash.
True. It's a good bit so Andre's finished this off. It's a nice little touch there.
Manus is catching up to the back of Josh Henderson. Cosmo?
Yep.
Probably has less drag considering the rather square shape of that Cosmo car.
I would agree very much, yeah.
Josh goes straight on at first place, and I think that is a wheel gone.
There we go. There's that wheel.
I wonder how that chirpy accent will be now.
Probably just as loud, but slightly more aggressive.
Just get that car home! Come on, chap.
It would not surprise me if Josh just keeps going on 3 wheels.
I'd rather he didn't. Miku would not allow that.
He's going to pit. I hope he pits and escapes and sorts out the damage before he crosses the line.
Oh, Jesus.
Word.
He's
not
far
exactly
from
going
the pits,
slowly.
actually, so...
Oh, surely.
Picked a good place to do it.
Yep.
Good.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Oh god, he's
Chicane.
just take the
It's
Toby
such a-
Davis line. You're missing a wheel.
Well, there you go. At least he managed to limp it back, so credit to him for that. It was a big crash. It just seemed like brakes didn't work. Must have locked them up, presumably. In the entrance and just straight on.
We'll be back in just a second.
Yep. And he comes.
Oh, he's missed his pit box as well, but I can appreciate how easy that is to do when you've only got 3/4 the grip. What you have normally.
Yeah, very easy thing to do indeed.
What, trying to... Don't think it's registering that he wants to pit.
Nope, doesn't look like it. There you go. Oh, poor Josh. Not
Has he crossed the line?
sometimes. Oh, and obviously just escaped in the garage.
Yep, Josh is now in the garage. Wheels are on. He's going to have a penalty of... I think... Be wrong?
No, it cut out when it said you have a penalty of...
Penalty of mystery.
Yeah.
Don't know yet. It hasn't
Mystery penalty. Maybe you have to draw a card.
popped up.
I'll take a chance. Chance, take a
Yeah,
chance,
it's
take a
and-
chance.
Josh is out on track straight
Oh
away.
yeah, I know what you're doing there. Damn it, now that song's in my head, thanks.
Sorry!
No, it's fine, trust me, it's fine. I had to, yeah, I know those songs well.
Yeah, Josh is straight out on track again.
Well, there's 8 minutes left. I figured we could remove the penalty for him so he can finish on track.
Ah, that's kind of you, Dave.
It's not going to change anything, is it?
Oh, Josh,
No,
please don't
yeah.
go and get rid of another wheel. I don't think Dave can be bothered to wave it again, not with his current sleep deprivation state. Oh, no.
He hasn't spun already, has he?
Just be careful, Josh, please. I want my team boss in one piece for Wednesday.
Marius gets by. Who's that? Yeah, Waters by the looks of it. Yep, it's by Andrews. Interesting to see. I do hope that he does get it done. Just bring it home, Josh. No need to go ballistic. Just bring it home. Of course, all smiles at the front for Mike Bell. Still leading, way out front. It's really been a very good drive indeed. Car looks something spotless. Look at it, just no scratches on it at all. Just kept it clean.
I've been using T-Cut in each pit stop. Good car polishes are available.
Yep. Still doing 4 minute 0.8s or so, so still, there you go, just did 3:59.5, so he's still pushing. Hasn't yielded much. And apparently about 6 minutes to go. So should be
I believe
2
it'll be this lap
laps.
and then one more for Mike Bell.
Okay.
Van der Voort's just gone up the inside. Sorry, Van der Voort. Call him Van der Voort.
So is it Van Vuge?
He's just gone up the inside of Pelkonen on the run up towards the first Indianapolis.
Yep.
I believe
off again.
Oh, Pelkonen's just gone off as well. Everybody's starting to fall asleep at the wheel.
Or a lot of flashing
Madness.
headlights here of trying to wake each other up. Ooh. There we go. Alright.
Ryan goes past Pelkonen.
Yep. And then boys, you only got 2 laps to go. Just got to hold it together for 2 more.
When you do get down, to the very last lap or two, it's do you start to think, right, I'm now really home? Do you then start to either seize up and start second guessing a little bit of your driving, or do you start to feel a little bit more freer and therefore maybe either get faster or a mistake creeps in on either way?
It's a weird situation because there's part of you that thinks I'm almost home, I've almost got the car home, and that, because you've relaxed, you then start to pay less attention to what you're doing. So you might miss a braking point, miss an apex, perhaps take more curb than you normally would. It's like when I first learnt to drive or whatever, I think they said something like majority of accidents happen within like 3 miles of your home, because you get that sense of security and you let your concentration and your alertness lapse and things happen, which is probably what's happening here with Josh, for example. If we've been racing for almost 24 hours and he's now perhaps thinking that we're almost there, we've only got a few more laps.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Oh,
and I've just
and with a wheel.
Josh, is that the same corner?
Yeah.
Oh, Josh.
That corner has seen a few incidents over the time. I remember, wasn't it?
Oh, he's in the wall again. Oh.
Wasn't it the Missouric or the Drake that went off there twice as well?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. Someone else I think lost a wheel there, or someone that had major damage.
Richards went off there. Only got a small amount of damage. Got
no, here we go, we've got
John
Johnson
and Marius.
Yep. Stay one side, Josh. There we go. Yeah, he's got
Josh has gone left. Oh, and he's it's round.
Doing so well to get out of the way. Watch out for Walters.
Here you going, Josh.
There we go. He's just gonna
go round. Ah, Josh, we love you.
I guess you may as well. Why not? It's the lap to go, isn't it now? Well, on that right, Dave.
I believe so.
Oh wait, no. Sorry, he's not over mine yet. Bell. Ooh, nearly went off too. Next lap. Sorry, it's the last lap. Sorry. Hit myself a little bit. It's going to be an interesting finish, so we will have a 3-wheeled finisher.
Okay. So, let's dive on board with Mike Bell as he crosses over the start-finish line, and let's take you around the final lap then of the Le Mans 24 hours of GPVWC. Experience the thrills and spills on board the Smile Power racing car.
See what sort of time he does.
And how will it be to be doing your final lap as a race winner?
Power sliding around, obviously. Trying to give it a spectacular show.
What's the feeling as you get out onto the back straight?
Nice.
He's probably now at the stage where he's probably getting a little nervous twitch, realising that he's on the verge of something that will probably go down in the history books for GPVWC. Just needs to keep his focus and not get too carried away with himself. With Mike, you sometimes never know. And who was that in the wall? Was that Josh?
Yep.
Need you ask?
Got some camera time on the last lap. Actually, no, he couldn't be bothered to. Won't make a difference money because he's already many laps down.
Still gotta keep going, Josh.
Far up ahead.
Looks like it's Mark Will.
Mike now coming up for the final time to do the leap of faith over the brow of the hill.
Just remembering the transformation of the actual track itself over the last 24 hours. We've seen this track in the early afternoon, late into the evening, into sunset, a full nighttime light gazeness, and even into the early crack of dawn. Now we are back full around to full daylight. Lunch is very much upon us. I can sense Dave all over that Just Eat, about to order something. And Mr. Bell and his Smile team have sat and suffered the lot, and they're coming out very much on top indeed, and he's still giving it some Larry legs on the entry here. We've just crossed the 24-hour mark now. 24 hours, 1 minute and 32 seconds in counting. So this is definitely the last lap. Quickly, guys, whilst he makes his way down, your final couple of thoughts.
Been a brilliant event. I've thoroughly enjoyed being part of it, and thank you ever so much to yourself, Simon, everybody else who's helped out with the commentary, Dave for being a nutcase on the cameras, all of the staff behind the scenes. It's been brilliant.
I'm just going to jump across. We'll get you in a sec after the race here. Mike Bell having one last final scare before we come home. Mark Fuller's desperate to not cause an issue. But with one final scare behind him, Mike Bell for Smile Racing Power Car Racing Team crosses the line. Mike Bell for Smile Power Racing wins the GPVWC 24-hour of Le Mans. What a fantastic achievement for him and for his team, all of those drivers, Reese Gardner and co. Great stuff all round. Second place, still touring around, will be the Eric Strane driven car, which is Lynx Enterprise GP. James Kirk, I think, will be cheering off in Wales. I hope his day-to-day goes well, and wish him all the best with that. Roy Schroten will be crossing the line in third place, hosting Drake Bodball Motorsports 1. 352 laps was completed, by the way, by Mike Bell. 350 to sorry, the timing's screwing up. 350 to the put Deltec up on top. I was
The
like,
moment
"Pardon?"
when Deltec win the 24-hour race.
in an obscure weird fate. So yeah, they're all crossing slowly over the line now, to be fair. So
Also have now won the 24 hours.
yeah, but it's all good. So that is them. Then Drake Racing then will come home in third. THR will come home fourth with David Yunt behind the wheel. Fifth will be Simcraft with Tom Vandervoort coming home as well. Sixth FA Racing ahead of seventh Missouri Adonis. Eighth for TSA. Oh, the first whoop. Ninth for Walters. Ninth for Walters Automotive. 10th will be Woods Racing. 11th Cosmo. 12th Drake 2. 13th, but also making it home, Beatrice Siumanis. Chumanis, sorry. Yeah, reverting back to bad English already. In the Deltec car. 13 started, 13 finished. What a great event, Tom.
Indeed. It's been a very, very, very impressive event, I thought. I had a ball doing my stints, that's for sure. And I mean, the racing I thought overall it's been quite clean. There were a couple of moments early on where it was a bit tight, but you know, that's just natural racing. You start off, you want to really get into it, and that's just natural stuff there. But most of the time I thought the racing was very clean and very smart. The 24-hour race, no one was too stupid in moves. They're all pretty contained in what they did. Yeah, very impressive performance by Bell and Smile Power Kart and all the rest of me. Just everybody, I think, congratulations to all the cars for finishing the race. It's just an achievement in itself to just finish is a very, very well done job.
Dave, just from yourself, I know you're busy sorting out the results and stuff, but pleased that the event has gone perfectly well, and
I'm quite surprised we didn't have any issues. Speaking to Lutz beforehand, who we owe a massive thank you to for helping with the server, the plugin, and pretty much everything else that's gone into this event. He's been a massive help. He was saying he's only ever had 4 events that have not had a server crash in over 24 hours across the hundreds that he's done, and somehow we got lucky and didn't have one on our first go.
luck of the draw. It must be down to everyone's amazing ability to organise and orchestrate the event. Thank you very much to you, Dave, for going all the way through it. Couldn't have done it without you either.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
And yes, let's, with your extreme humour, we all salute you too, and Simrace TV.
I'm a bit disappointed with the lack of hooning on the cooldown lap.
I was expecting to get berserk, but no.
They just had to cross the line to finalise the results, that's why Mike went round again.
I'm expecting the TSA car to start doing donuts at some point. I'm not seeing any just yet.
Lucky on him.
Part of the contract, the small print.
Fine print, yeah.
Small print +2.
Must have been at the end of the race.
I think Mike Bell's happy. So happy he can't do smiley faces. He was pretty chuffed with their results. How have they finished?
It's good to see that everyone's just happy to finish on. That's a very, very good thing.
Well, everyone actually saying that's probably the happiest, wonderful end to a chat room in a race I've ever seen. Everyone just congratulating each other.
I think it's the first chat event, lobby post-race where I've not seen any abuse at all.
No.
Extrane, 1 litre left. I shall make it. So that is cutting it a wee bit fine. But yes, everyone across the line now. So the results are finalised. Just to confirm then, Smile Power Racing completed 353 laps against 351 for Enterprise, 350 for Drake 1, THR done 348, Simcraft done 346, FA 342, Missouri Adonis 341, TSA 340, Walters done 332, ahead of 328 for Woods, 325 for Cosmo, Drake 2 done 315, and Deltec got a 300. So, everyone over the 300 mark is loving that. Calvin Hermsey has already tweeted in, "We are not last." I know, Calvin. Take a screenshot, mate.
Weren't driving, were you, Calvin, when you tweeted that? Sorry, Calvin. Love you, really.
Aw, poor him. So Mike Bell now into the old spinning and donuts, although he's now got himself stuck on a sausage curve.
Oh dear.
But there we go.
Oh, I missed it. I'm going to rewind just to watch that.
But it's all good.
Did he go to... Yeah, he's actually gone outside the track just to do some mini things.
That was for you, that was.
Indeed.
Anyway, we're going to get the
I'm
winning...
going to move the guys up now.
We're going to get the winning team in so that we can have a wee chatteroo with them.
Lewis, did you say that Fran didn't want to come up?
Yep.
Okay, I'll leave him be then.
So we've been joined by Mike Bell, Rhys Gardner and Lewis McGlade, who are 2 of the 3 drivers from the team, as well as the team manager / engineer / overseer. So we will start off with the man who crossed over that line to take the victory, Mike Bell. A fantastic achievement for Smile Power.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is by far the biggest race we've won as a team. It's the only time we've ever won an endurance event, and it's the first time we've really participated in one as well, so not too bad.
And we jumped on board for the last lap for you to bring us home. Looked like you had one last minute corner scare, but I think you were okay in the end.
And I was scaring the rest of the team. So maybe the last 5 minutes, I was like, oh no! My tyres have dropped 1%. And just things like that, just to wind everyone up.
Nothing quite like winding up the rest of your team, is there, Mike?
Nah.
But talking of the team, obviously, big team camaraderie, big team spirit between the lot of you. It must mean a lot to win together and support each other over the 24 hours.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, if just one thing wasn't the same as it was today, we may not have won, because we had a couple of close calls with walls, but all of our drivers were very good at what they had to do, whether it was matching a time or catching someone or whatnot. And everyone was working together really well over the whole 24 hours. There was always people about to give information and relevant data and things like that. And yeah, it was a great job from both the drivers and from the people who we had helping out at various points. So that's Lewis, Ben Hackison, Danny Asbury, Scott Beresford, people like that.
Great stuff. On to Rhys Gardner. Well done,
Hello.
well done.
It feels very, very good.
Are you feeling Aussie pride?
Yeah, I suppose so. If you could call it that.
Because it is a cross-world team that you're in, so you're representing the Southern Hemisphere. So congratulations. Talk us about how it was to bring that car home.
Oh, thank you very much. This really does mean a lot to me. This is the first 24-hour race that I have individually done, as well as a lot of us running this car, and yeah, it felt. I think it was in the pre-race testing that I described to Mike that watching him drive in practice, at least, it was like one long heart attack. I was constantly going, don't slide there. You got to keep it calm. Don't do that. No, you know, all that sort of stuff. It was like that for all of the last lap. Mike winding us up like he said he did. This was a really, really fun experience. I absolutely enjoyed it. Even though I only did one stint, it was absolutely a great experience.
Great stuff. And I'm assuming that's whet your appetite to come back for more?
Maybe. Of course, it depends on my schedule. I mean, I'm not a full Smile Power member, but if they want me to come back for more endurance races, I'll definitely seriously consider it.
Great stuff. Well, it's great to have you with us, and congratulations on the victory.
Thank you.
And of course, the man who is overseeing with his beady wee eyes, Mr. Lewis McGlade. You must be a proud team manager there.
Yeah, it's been a really long day. I had to disappear off a couple of times tonight because I just got so exhausted. But it's been a really long day, and I'm so proud of all 4 drivers of the team and everyone that helped out across the evening with some various spotting duties and just checking on some times here and there when other people had to go off for breaks and things like that. It's been a real great team experience. I think a good building experience. And you look at some of the other teams out there today and how all 4 of our drivers, they weren't making too many mistakes. It was obviously the odd one here and there where we went, had a slight clip of the wall, but other than that, it was really, really fantastic driving from all 4 drivers. I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Great stuff, great stuff. And so, does that mean that Smile will become a fully fledged team that will continue to bash around for many a race to come?
Well, hopefully, obviously with Mike's entering Smile into WSS and Form Challenge as discussed earlier on the broadcast, and them doing both well in those formats. We've had a great run this evening, or today. I keep thinking it's evening because I'm so tired. But it had a great run today to take the win. Smile was really showing that this year, up and coming team, one of the up and coming teams in sim racing, and it's great to be a part of that whole environment. We've got lots of different drivers from different places around the world, all of great talent coming to Smile and racing. It's good to take it to teams like THR and Simcraft and show what we've got. And of course, EGP, they gave us a really good run for our money across the evening. They deserve great kudos to that, because across the evening there was a lot of stress on my part, looking at them going, "Oh, these guys could do it," And no, it's just a really good evening. It's something really good to be a part of.
Great stuff. And one final question for the 3 of you: how will you all celebrate?
Sleep.
Canadian
Reese.
Club and Cola.
Good choice.
Great stuff. Well, thank you so much for being part of the broadcast and coming in and celebrating. I think you all can go and have a good old schnoozles right now.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Great stuff.
Yes.
Well, from Tom, last thoughts before we sign off, mate?
I guess just that I thought it was a very great success, this event. I was very impressed with that run. And I was also very impressed that everyone finished. I thought that we'd have like half the guys who started would retire. But as you saw there, it was quite good driving, quite clean driving, I thought, and just smart driving from a lot of the guys. So, yeah, very impressive, I thought, and a lot of fun. I'll definitely hope that we'll do it again sometime soon, because I did really enjoy it. Hopefully I want to try and do more commentary as well, because I did really enjoy this too, and thanks for having me, Simon.
No, it's most welcome, great pleasure. And final words of wisdom from our man in the know, Mr. Will Panisi. Was it everything you expected it to be?
Yeah, it was a fantastic experience to see finally a 24 hours race held at GPVWC. I think it was one of the great events that we were currently missing, and managed to pull it off was an absolute achievement. And on this regard, I would like to thank everybody who's been working, both in behind the scenes and the public as well, for this event. All the cameramen and commentary team, and obviously Lutz and Simrace TV for the massive help they had in running this event. It was something that we wanted to do for a very, very long time. Absolutely fantastic. And obviously, fantastic thank you to you, Simon. It's been fantastic to spend 19 hours with you.
No, about 17 too much for what most people really want. But no, I think the big shout out needs to go to Dave, who has done the entire event and didn't fall asleep and be ill in the middle. So congratulations, Dave. Whoop, whoop. You get endurance trophy. Well, that's about it, I think. Unless there's anything else, Will?
I'll need to figure out a way to put together the results for this, but I'm sure that everybody at GPVWC headquarters working already very hard to make sure that we can issue results soon. It's a very particular event.
Great stuff. Well, thank you very much to everyone who took part, everyone who watched, everyone that tweeted in. Let me just get my final tweet count. 164 tweets in the end, just on the old GPVWC alone. So great stuff. Thank you so much for everyone. And this is from Dave Carr-Smith, Thomas Hens, Will Panisi, and myself, Simon Smith. Hearty thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow for ITC. Oh God. Toodles for now. Bye.